Hey, I I can't hear you, Mark. Can't hear you, literally.
Yeah, I can't hear Mark either.
I think Mark's got his mic muted.
Fuck.
There he is. There he is.
Anyway, Oliver Linear being interviewed by Eric. Well, I totally fucked that intro. Anyway, boys, take it away.
Oh, shit. Okay.
What was that? What was that?
Here we are.
So basically, Mark just sat there, just wiggling his hands to everybody for like a minute and 20 minutes, and then left.
Take it away, boys.
Take it away. Oh yeah, I suppose it's your show, isn't it, Eric?
Fucking no way to throw me off, man. Jesus. All right, so back on track.
Back on track, if there is a track.
Is there? Is there?
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe Mark knows. I don't know. Anyways, for all of y'all tuning in, thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. For anybody that's new to the show, basically, we throw a poll up in the URL group, and we have you cunts decide which cunt you want us to interview. And for some reason, y'all pick this guy. How the fuck?
I mean, if you're gonna really do that correctly, you're calling everybody cunts, but I am the original cunt.
The original cunt.
I'm where it came from. Yeah, me.
OGC.
OGC, the original cunt. I was the first person they called a cunt, and it went on, and then everybody got called after me. So yeah, I wear that very proudly.
All right, so let's get into it then. Let's get into it. Tell me more. How did how did the whole Clown Army URL thing? How did it come about? Originally? You
want to go back to the beginning?
Yeah, take me
right
back,
at the beginning.
All the way back.
Okay, right. What? So I met Mark. Right, we were So I first met Mark, right? So me and Dan Avery, so the cousin of the guy that ran Lakota, which is a big club in the UK.
Right.
So we were in Lakota, and then suddenly there was this night called Excessive. And there were all these girls running around with Excessive t-shirts on, and I can't remember what it was, Mutant Dark t-shirts on. There were loads of banners with Mutant Dark on it. Excessive crew, and me and Dan were walking around this venue going, who the fuck's this Mutant Dark guy? Like, have we been in the scene for like 3 years and just totally missed out on who this like massive guy is? And we were walking around this venue, and like the venue was really full. Like it was a big night and Excessive, right? And it was like, who the fuck is this Mutant Dark guy? And then suddenly this short, bold guy turned up behind the desk. Right, and we find out that is Mutant Dark. Now I hadn't met Mark at that point, and Dan hadn't met Mark, but he literally just shot into the Bristol music scene from nowhere, and like just pulled off this like promotional fucking genius, like literally. Like honestly, like I don't think he played a gig before. He just booked out Excessive, promoted the shit out of it, and then made everybody he knew wear Newton Dark t-shirts. And he looked like a massive international DJ. Me and Dan were like, who the fuck's this person? Anyway, I think it moves a couple of months forward, and I was playing like one of my early gigs. I was playing Hard House, and I was in room 2. And Lisa Lashes or Anne Savage, one of the tidy girls, was in the main room. And for some magical reason, that night, everybody in the club was digging my fucking set. And my room was packed. The room 2 was packed. And nobody was in the main room, right? When Lisa, like the headliner, was playing. And for some that my energy was right, or I was playing the right tunes, or whatever.
What were you playing that night?
Hard House. I was probably playing a lot of Lisa Lashes or Anne Savage's tunes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just one of those real freak events. Do you know what I mean? Where it was just happened. The vibe was right at that point. And like I was fucking I was out of my face, smashing it up. But I wasn't so much out of my face that I couldn't remember what happened. And I did this set, like fucked it up. There was sweat dripping. It was mad. And then this Newton Dark guy came up
right now.
Yeah, man, it was mental, man. It was fucking mad. I mean, it was mental. And then this short, bold guy, Newton Dark, who we went to this venue, like, who the fuck's this guy? Came up to me and went, "Oh, that set was really good. Will you play a set for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course, whatever." Just went off and took loads more drugs, and then the event came up, and I played the event, and then that was where me and Mark sort of met. And that was back in sort of like maybe 2001, 2002. And
it's been a while.
Earlier.
When was it?
Like 98, 99.
There we go. So 98, 99. So I would have been like 16 or something. Mark's a little bit older. And and then I just started playing Mark's events and just like, do you know what I mean? Because as much of a fucking loser as he is now, it wasn't what he used to be. Like, honestly, this boy, sorry, man, I'm only joking, Mark. You're not a loser. No, but this
loser, mate.
He's not a loser. This, honestly, like back then, 2000s, Excessive was massive. Like, I'm telling you, like, it literally came along, right? First gig in Lakota, and he's not like, "Oh, I'm going to try and get some gigs to get well known." He was like, "Nah, motherfucker, I'm booking out Lakota, and I'm doing like the biggest night ever in Bristol, techno, and like sort of that sort of hard techno-y stuff, and just fucked it up, man. Like literally just took over Bristol in like a month." Basically, it was like all about that scene. Was literally all about. Nobody knew he was called Mark Gardner. He was Newton Dark. It was all about Excessive.
Is that where your email, Mark, that we send all the Clown Fest, Newton Excessive or something like that?
That's it. Yeah. So that is what that is basically. And he just just took over Bristol. Like literally all of the big night Species, the fucking like Acid Ted, like all of it, they were just swarming around him. And he literally come from nowhere and just went, "Right, I was gonna fuck shit up." And I was literally lucky enough for like Mark to see me do that set, like that, like, just see me fuck the place up. To him go, "Right, I need him involved." And I got involved.
It was like the right place, the right time kind of thing. It was literally
one of the, I was doing the right, playing the right shit, having the right energy at the right time for that specific moment. And Mark walked in at the right. Do you know what I mean? And then I started working with Mark, and obviously my name started going on this. I mean, I had a little bit of a name then, but not really much of a name. I hadn't really done anything. I was really young. But you know what Mark was doing and inviting me on, like, kind of really cemented my name because I was going on all these big flyers. And me and Mark started working together, and then me and my brother started doing live PAs. We called it can't remember what we called. Mark, can you remember what we called it?
Surge N.
Surge N, yeah. So me and my brother were making this like weird acid music, and back then, like the computers weren't powerful enough to be able to run MIDI control and audio. So what we had to do was MIDI time clock 2, 4, 6, 8s together. Right, join them audio. So we had the audio coming from one, and we had the MIDI coming from the other. So half of the MIDI was computer program MIDI.
Sounds like a complete ball ache, to be honest.
Oh, it was Eve turning up to try and do that set was Eve because you didn't know if it was going to work. Yeah, it would work like 50% of the time, but if it didn't, like DJ, can you play a couple of tunes just so we can get it working? But yeah, one of the computers was running the MIDI. like either sending time clocks out to the fucking groove boxes. Now, have you ever tried to like time like MIDI clock a groove box? It's like, come on, like what was it, MC 303s? It's like, come on, they're bad enough as it is. So we were time clocking those. We had some like Novation base stations and stuff running other bits, and it would all come into a Roland. Can't remember what Roland it was. This Roland little 8-track, but it was a double 16 because it was like there was half digital, and we'd run it all into that, and then we'd do an hour live PA at Mark's events, basically at the FEC. Like, it was madness, man. It was a fucking.
How many
time.
hiccups happened in that whole process? How many times did shit just
Not
go off
loads.
rails?
So,
and you're like,
here we go. Right. So the biggest hiccup, the best hiccup I ever did. So my old man. I'm like second generation Bristol music, and my old man built the first 100k sound system in Bristol in the 80s underneath a shop called that's now Electric Ladylight. It was called Biggles Music. So my old man was sort of dealing music and stuff back then, and they built the first 100k rig underneath this shop in town, basically in the 80s. And there were two surviving tops from that rig, and they were in the Fekler. I played a gig for Mark at the Fekler, and halfway through the set, I dropped a beer into my mixer, and that killed the last two tops of the 100k system my dad built 20 years ago. That was the level of hiccup. Yeah, it was madness, man. A lot of the time we were just turning up and doing DJ sets and stuff like that, but yeah, it was madness. And then
what do you even do in that situation? Like, is that just the end? Did that just shut down the show, or did you
no, for me,
somehow?
For me, it was about making the sets, and for me, it was about practicing with my brother, and for me, it was about creating the music. Doing the gig was an inconvenience, man. I wanted to be getting off my face somewhere. I didn't want to be in a fucking
right.
I mean, I wanted to be fucked up somewhere, and I couldn't wait till after the sets get fucked up. I was getting fucked up on that day because that was when I was getting fucked up. So for me, I don't know. I didn't give two shits. The speakers died. We carried on. Nobody heard anything. That's all properly ended. I didn't give two fucks. It wasn't what I was there for. Do you know what I mean? It disappeared into the ether of Bristol to go and get wasted for another couple of weeks. But yeah, it was just what it was like back then. But yeah, it was madness. And then like the sort of as things do, they died down. Mark went off and did his things. I think he'd had enough of music at that point, and I sort of continued. But I disappeared into like quite severe drug addiction. I was already there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it was like I went into real deep, like sort of fuck it button drug addiction.
I've been there myself, man. I
was still doing bits of music, and I was still like sort of present on the scene. I was playing in punk bands and shit like that. And we just sort of parted ways, and then then I kept seeing Mark turn up on YouTube, like doing these group and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like he was really one of the first guys to sort of start doing. If you look back, you'll see how old some of those videos are. Like 8-9 years ago, you'll see that he was one of the first guys to really start like putting groove boxes together, and instead of being a DJ, actually go, no, I'm going to create my own stuff for an hour and make my own thing. And I was seeing the videos, and the early ones weren't that good. I think they were being recorded, not direct sound, and but there was something there, and I was looking at it, going, yeah, there's something there. The kid's got, you know what I mean? Mark's always got something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's always something there.
I first one I saw was either the one where he was in the field or the one where he was in a bathtub or something like that with all the stuff. I was like, I had nothing to do with either of those videos, and I would have told him not to do them, but he did them, and it worked out well. But so I saw him doing it, and I was like, there's something there. But I was in such a bad place, and I had a load of shit going on that I just couldn't get involved. Then I went into rehab. And did a rehab, came out of rehab and just started putting some mixes up online again, because obviously I was sober, innit? What else am I going to do? It's just music or nothing, isn't it? Yeah. Right. And then Mark messaged me. He was like, have you seen I've been doing stuff with all these things? And I was like, yes, there's something there, Mark. And he was like, let's have a meeting. So we went for a meeting with him and had a chat. He was like, I want to call myself Pierrot the Acid Clown. And I was like, that's a really good name. He was like, I've got these groove boxes and I want to gig them. It's like, well, that's going to be really hard to get you gigs. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's really back then. I mean, we are talking like 8-9 years ago. Nobody was doing that stuff. It was CDJs or Technics and other people. It was like, it's still tough to get like for a hardware performer.
Yeah, of course.
Gigs even to this day, you know.
It's a lot of shit. But yeah, so he was like, do you want to get involved in this? So I was like, well, I've got nothing better to do. I love Mark. So it was like, let's do it. So then we started talking about how we're going to do it. And I was like, okay, well, you know, if we're going to do this properly, we need to like sort of make a whole like show out of it. And we need to like, do you know what I mean? You got to have characters. We got to do stupid stuff. How do you poke out in the ether of like hundreds of people? Do you know what I mean? It was right at the beginning where anybody could DJ. Computers were quite, were becoming more and more predominant, and DAW software was more and more accessible. So really anybody could make music if they didn't understand music theory, they hadn't played the instruments, do you know what I mean? You could just get a computer. Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying it made music more accessible. So
right.
So many more people could make music and put music out. And then we had social media was really starting to become useful. So there was a lot of people putting videos up. So then it was like, how do we break through this fuzz? Do you know what I mean? There's everybody's putting stuff up. You know what I mean? Anybody can create music.
You stand out above the crowd, kind of.
And now it's like, okay, well, let's come up with a concept. So we got Pierrot the Acid Clown. I'll be the manager, and basically you're just an idiot, and I'm always trying to pull him in line. And that was kind of the idea behind Don't Get Caught, is that like I'm trying to get him to a gig, and Mark's just off trying to do sex club stuff, or like, you know, I mean, get up to that stuff. So that was the sort of that video was sort of like, this is us, this is what we do, this explains it. Watch the video. If you understand the video, then we do it. And then it was like, you know, what else can we do? And it's like, well, humans are transactional, aren't they? So it was like you have to kind of offer something for somebody to get something back.
Right.
And it's like, well, okay, well, if you're gonna try and exploit a human need, you've got to try and do some good with it, haven't you? So it's like I was seeing these American kids just like with their iPhones, just listening to people's music and then saying, "Oh, that's rubbish. That's good." There was no production. There was no sort of theme running. Yeah, I know, the bastard. Massively. But yeah, there was no sort of plan to it. So I was like, okay, well, there's something there, right? So what if we built a platform to allow people to get exposure? What if we built something that answered the question that we were asking? How do we break through the fuzz? And it was like, well, if we build a platform and build a place for people to show their music, and then we do something entertaining in that video, then it helped break through the fuzz, and then we're able to give people a start and push people through. And like, there's this place that happens every Tuesday, no matter what, and if you put music in it, we'll play it, and the audience that we've got, but mostly the people making the music, will come and watch it, and then you've suddenly got a platform. And then when you've got that platform, you suddenly have an environment. You have friends, you have people, so you start networking, and when you start having friends and people and networking, a whole community, then magical things happen, because then you start supporting, and then you get people that are really good at production, and you get people that aren't so good at production that are really good rhythmically. Then they start talking, and everybody just comes up and gets better. So it's like, right, okay, let's start this show. I'll act as my worst alter ego, and Mark's just going to be Mark and just be a legit person. Like, people have to not like me. People have to like Mark for it to work. So I just went fucking. Do you know what I mean? I'm quite good at being a prick. Do you know what I mean? It comes quite naturally to me.
No, not you.
It comes very naturally to me to be a prick. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of my default setting in situations I don't like. So I just played up to that, and Mark did that, and then we just started this thing. And in essence, do you know what I mean? We were trying to do something good, but we were trying to sort of stick out. Do you know what I mean? We were doing it as much to push what Mark was doing on as we were to help others, and also create this community. So then we started doing it, and it started really working. And it started going somewhere. It's like, right, what's the next move? Well, okay, let's start doing some really ridiculous things with your setup. It was like, can we take it somewhere? It's very expensive. Then he built the little live one.
I don't know
the one that he did in the bath.
Yeah,
you know, the one he did in the bath. That was a little live set we should take like to Turbo Island. We were like the first people to go to Turbo Island and do like a set, like literally 8 years ago. And it's just now people take fucking buses and massive rigs, but we were the first ones to do that. And we went down and we did that shit, and yeah, and it was fucking beautiful. And then it just naturally sort of came to an end between us, and Mark carried on with the URL, and I kind of just carried on doing my shit. But yeah, that in basic terms, that's the story of the URL. I was expecting Mark to come in a lot more and interject a little bit.
Oh, where is he? He's been talking mad shit all week.
I was trying to find some videos from back in the day, so I've been scouring through them, but I can't find the ones I was looking for. So, but yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, it's an amazing community, honestly. When before I found the URL and stuff, like, I don't know, it's just kind of like a flag flapping in the wind. Yeah, and it was, I don't know, it's just, I was making music and I was the only person that was ever hearing it. And Roger would hear it, like, you know, the child that's in practicing their trumpet over and over and over, he'd hear the same thing over and over and over. So he didn't give a fuck about it by the time I was done with my tracks, you know. But when I found the URL, it gave me a place for people to actually hear the noises I was making, you know. It got it out of my head and to people. And then I got great feedback. They're like, oh, this is good. This sucks. You know, do this, do that. Don't do this. What's he got?
Oh, there we go. That's one of the first. That's one of the first Turbo Islands.
Middle of Bristol. Fanning around. Also wanted to show like a really, really early. Oh, I'm gonna have to search for it again. Hold on.
But yeah, it was a really beautiful time, man. Because not only did, like, you know, something that I came up with worked, and then we sort of collaborated on the idea. Not only did it work, but it was going really well, and the community that we bought was absolutely beautiful, and it seemed to be sort of helping out people that are struggling, people that are sort of agoraphobic, people that struggle with interpersonal relationships, but they're really good at. Go on, what's he got here?
This is one of like a really, really old URL. It's super old, like 2017.
2017, yeah.
Is that one? Oh shit!
Yeah, this was like one of the first ones.
Is that like on a cell phone or something?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It was done off of my mobile phone with like just room sound. It was fucking horrible.
You had a brand new iPhone 7, I think, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was it a 6 or a 7?
Look, I mean, the video is playing. This is how bad things are.
Okay, so tonight we've got an interview with DJ Kelvin Twisted. Although it's a little bit wonky as to whether we're going to be doing it due to the fact that he runs.
You two are like babies.
No shit, right?
Full period the Acclaim set at the Blue Mountain.
Oliver's got a little hair going on there.
But I know, back before it went. Well, it's not new. Original, it's old, but it's new.
This is how bad the URL used to be. We started this at the right time.
Shit just then, you're like, the look on your face was classic.
It was scary, man. Nobody was doing this.
No, not really.
You got to think. This is like Facebook Live had only been you'd only been able to go live on Facebook for about a year. People just weren't doing it.
Yeah.
We were literally just like, right, okay, camera stuff. Let's just do it. Let's just try
do it.
Big. Yeah, let's just do it. And yeah, it was.
We shared to like 100 groups as well. Facebook was free and liberating. It was a great place to be. Like I say, we started doing this at the right time. If you're starting something these days, then you know you're properly up against it. Algorithms, Facebook sucks. You know. Anyway, so that is
a lot has changed. A lot has changed since then.
Yeah,
but it's cool that you got the Clownfest website and stuff, and that YouTube is a good place for the show, you know, versus Facebook Live and stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm glad we moved it.
It's evolved. It's evolved, and it's become a beautiful thing. It's become legit.
It has, yeah, and obviously, there's some changes that I keep nagging Mark to do promotion-wise, because obviously you can still utilize Facebook. Do you know what I mean? Facebook's no good for long format stuff, but if you can find a couple of sort of 30 second to 3 minute sort of cuts of what you're doing and put it up, it can do really well. So do you know what I mean? You could still utilize the platforms. We've got user platforms what they were before. When we were doing that, Facebook had literally just launched Facebook Live, so they wanted people going live, but they didn't want people making shows. They wanted people talk to cam. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what we were doing was kind of like sort of bending what Facebook wanted, and then the whole sort of DJ live stream thing was like it didn't exist then. Like literally, I remember the first week Facebook Live became available. I was like, you can go live on Facebook now. So I bought a burner phone and put 30 quid's worth of data on it.
No way.
I was playing Dot to Dot Festival in Lakota again. And I just got the phone and stuck it next to Dex and did an hour live stream. I literally think I was one of the first people to do a live stream on Facebook. I'm probably wrong, but I hadn't seen that. Excuse me. I hadn't seen that.
It was
happen.
original.
So, yeah, man,
original.
it was. I mean, you just got to fucking do what you can do with what's around you, and obviously, like, you know what I mean. If you're gonna do music, you've got to do music, and then obviously it all tied into this, and then obviously now, 8 years later, you know, you've got this podcast going. The URL's doing really well. There's some improvements you can do with quality because, obviously,
a microphone for Eric.
A microphone for Eric, you know, because these platforms do want high quality. Do you know what I mean? Like using webcams doesn't work, you know. A lot of the big content, they use iPhones for the cameras, and you know, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube definitely go, what's the quality of this like? Is the quality good? Right. No, well, then we're not going to push it out because obviously they trade on quality, don't they? They're tech guys, so if your quality isn't up to scratch, then they will hold that back. So there's a couple of things, but you know, the URLs is strong as ever, and fucking
hell yeah, it is.
Quality, he says. Hold on. Quality, he says. Which one is it?
What is your problem?
Quality, he says. Let's check out this screenshot here.
Oh, what is going on here?
Yeah! That is a great look.
I was on a lot of bugs, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You could have at least combed your hair that day, bro. It's like
Anyway.
Okay. Enough laughing at Oliver.
I mean, you can laugh at me, but neither of you had the balls to do a fucking depression, anxiety, and suicide podcast. So you can laugh at me all you want, but
that's literally me on that podcast. So I did do that podcast.
I invited you on it. It wasn't your idea.
No, it wasn't. But I did it. You're saying none of you have done. I did.
Ladies, calm down.
I told you this interview is going to be a clusterfuck.
Oh, see the thing is.
Oh, we've lost Oliver. Oh, where'd he go? There he is. Come back.
Now he's
there must be something wrong with his connection. There he is again. Anyway.
There's nothing wrong with my connection. And see, after all the nice things I say about Mark, do you know what I mean? He still comes in and tries to drag.
That's the thing. That's the thing. All right. From an outside perspective, one would think you guys hate each other.
We don't. No.
We do.
No.
We do.
And an outside perspective, I'm the bad one, but in fact, it's not me.
You guys are just constantly like fucking with each other all the time. The banter. Actually, funny enough, I was just in New York City, and it was so random. I saw this the back of this bus, and it had some random word that said banter. It just said banter, and for some reason, I was like, Mark and Oliver.
God, you live a sad life. Fucking hell. Back in New York buses, you're thinking about me and Mark, Jesus. But yeah,
I'm like,
I've known. There's not many people that you can know for like older than some people that are like. Do you know what I mean? I've known him since fucking 1998. Whenever he said, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When you get comfortable with that, when you know somebody that well, do you know what I mean? There are no boundaries, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? The only boundaries are the things in each other's personal lives that you don't share publicly because you respect them. Everything else is fucking right. You know, everything else is on the. Do you know what I mean? Everything else is on the cards, and we'll continue doing that. And it's great fun, yeah. But no, I love Mark.
We all have fun watching you guys fuck up each other and joining in when we can, you know.
Exactly.
But no, back to the Clown Army and the URL and stuff. You were talking about the community side of it, and that's where it's really at for me. It's a community. It's more than just a show or this or that, you know. Like some of the closest people in my life right now, I've met through the URL at the end of the day. I mean, I have more.
You can look me in the eyes and thank me personally for that, Eric.
Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that! You'll just pander to his ego. Don't do it! Don't do it! Tell him to fuck off! Fuck's sake!
I don't know if there's enough room for your ego and me and everybody.
There isn't. No, but on a serious note, man, it was my opinions of this when I stopped being part of the URL as a sort of active, like, constant member, was I saw the importance of people getting signed and people getting something out of their music, and I missed it. I totally missed it. I moved on to do Boombastic Sounds, and the basis of Boombastic Sounds was to get people signed to labels and get people reach and get people out there and allow themselves to be promoted. But what I missed out on is it's the community that matters. And Mark knew that. And Mark stayed doing this. And he was like, well, it doesn't matter about getting people signed. Like, it's about the community, and it's about bringing people together and then them learning and getting better. But I got sidetracked. It's like, okay, well, we need to make successes out of people, and I need to get them signed. And I did get them signed. I got loads of artists signed to labels, and I did loads of good for people's careers. But in the essence, it wasn't. Oh God!
What is
so
it?
This was.
Run teams.
No, that was running alongside all of this. Sebastian Roberts said this tune is gorgeous. Lee King's on a 7. Joseph Poppy, Chris Dixon, yo, what's happening? What else have we got here? Nutty T loved it. Shane Aubrey's back.
Big up, guys.
And there's a link there to Mobcore. It's absolutely savageness, mate. Check it out, Mobcore.
Yeah. So this is our first YouTube submission. And this is a private one from Long Schlong Silver.
Oh, yes.
Napraxon Flex.
Yes.
I love that name.
There were some names,
Reese
man.
just sent us a tune, mate. I think it's going to be a bit late this week. We are absolutely stacked. I'm so sorry. But what I will do is I'll personally add it into next week's submission post, where Marky G will be calling in live on video to mark judge and give advice on your remix submissions. You heard it here.
You heard it here first, people.
Wicked, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for that, mate. Wicked tune.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for you, boys. Thanks to everyone that's listening. And I've left the football on next door, so I'm going to go and crack on with that.
You go enjoy the football, and we'll see you in the studio soon. Yes, boy.
Yeah, good luck, lads. Thanks
big up, mate.
Nice
for the support, man.
Cheers, bro. Bye.
So how did that come about? The boom. What was it? Boom ticks.
So Boombastic Sounds. It came about because I kind of felt like mine and Mark's journey with the URL was just. Do you know what I mean? It just came to an end. I'm not sure if it was. I was quite an ill, sick person. Do you know what I mean? I was living in a lot of agony. I was taking a lot of drugs, and I just couldn't. I'd wake up feeling fucking horrible in my own skin every day. Like, I'd wake up and be like, "Fuck, I've got to do it again." Do you know what I mean? I wasn't a very well person, and it either wasn't working, or it was just fucking, just something wasn't working with it. So I was like, right, okay, well, I want to create a show that's exactly as I want it, and I want to see what happens. So then, Ollie Pooley had been on the show a couple of times, and he was a photographer, and he had the ability to create the quality that I thought was important, with the sound and the format of the show that I thought was important, i.e. sort of starting to pull bigger names in. Obviously, the way to make the way to sort of network in that sort of world is a lot of artists and a lot of creative people they're quite quality driven. So it was like, right, this show needs to be really high quality. It needs a DLSR camera, the audio needs to be top, and the production needs to be top. So Ollie could do those things. And I was like, right, I need to move where I think the URL should go there and try and do that. And I did that. And obviously Mark carried on doing the URL as it is, and it is now, and it's still going. And obviously Boombastic Sounds didn't last because it was kind of built on the wrong ideas. It was built to get views, and it was built to get big names involved, and it was built to do all the wrong things. Do you know what I mean? There was no apart from trying to help people out. But indicative people that tend not to be well promoted tend to be people that are in it for the wrong reasons, because they're either only doing it for not music, or they're just doing it for some sort of ego or success, which is the incorrect way. And, I'm not saying all of the artists on that show were like that, because some of them now are part of the URL and they came across the URL through Boombastic Sound, but they just weren't fucking. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them just weren't in it for the right reasons, unfortunately, or they were in it to sort of.
It goes back to that community aspect.
It does. And there was definitely a community in that show, but it wasn't quite the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you're creating something just to give people success, you miss out on the sort of the small things, and that is support, and that is sort of nurturing, and that is like group members sort of cuddling round new members and being supportive. Do you know what I mean? That didn't really. It was more of a sort of competition. We did a lot of fucking get signed to label competitions. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of pitted people against each other, opposed from all being supportive. So I mean that ended, and obviously what happened with that happened, and it was part of the journey. But it was at the end, it was just a sort of it was a non-loving version of the URL, if you could call it that. Do you know what I mean?
Right. What you been doing since then?
Oh, what have I been doing since? Fucking hell. I don't even know when that ended. Obviously I was like doing live streams with Runtings, where I think that was, so that sort of, that coincided with lockdown. I think one of the last shows was actually in lockdown, and I'd known Parker and Ed from Runtings for a long time, and I've been working with them anyway. And
stay hydrated, y'all.
You have to. It's there. Without hydration, you're fucked. But I was working with Runtings, so we were doing live streams with the Runtings label, which is quite a big UK drum and bass label.
Yeah, they're huge, really.
Yeah, big label. Yeah. And, obviously, they were part of my crew from like 20 years ago when I was doing all that shit with Mark. Do you know what I mean? They were there in my sort of like original friendship sound system crew, like from Unknown Sound Systems and like Runtings. It's all like a Bristol thing. We all knew each other. Parker was obviously hanging about with all my mates, and my mates hang about with Parker. Do you know what I mean? It was just the big. If you were in music, you amalgamate, don't you? So I was always in music, and we always know each other. And then they were sort of running the live stream thing, and obviously I was quite well known then for sort of running live streams, for doing stupid things like live streams on buses with Mark. Do you know what I mean? So I had the experience to be able to do that, and then
I literally went to look for that video and couldn't fucking find it. But yeah, we did the URL from the back of a bus one time as well.
We did. That was hilarious.
It was just fun. Like, why did we do that? You know, from the centre of a park as well. Just honestly, it was just
trying to be original and different. Do something that stands out.
Yeah, man.
Too bad the audio quality was probably pretty shit on the back of a bus.
I remember, like, logistical nightmare, absolutely fucking. And of course, nobody else is giving a shit about that, and I'm the one who's trying to fucking make everything work. It's me, him, and Jim on the back of a bus trying to make this fucking work. Ridiculous, you know. Phones dropping out of signal. Yeah, just fucking ridiculous. Like, why?
People getting on the bus wondering what the fuck's happening on the back.
Somebody's ass just passes by you. They're like,
we got a little bit militant with it. I remember, like, we were looking at the map of where the bus goes, going right. The signal's going to be bad there. Signal's going to be bad there. Signal's going to be bad there. So I think we need to get the main bulk of the stuff go before it gets into sketchy territory. It was fucking hilarious, man. It was like battery powered mixer. It's brilliant. But yeah, so then I started going with Runtings, and obviously lockdown happened, and then suddenly nobody had any entertainment. So again, I was in the fucking right place at the right time.
Yep.
The Runtings label had a bit of money, had loads of backing, so we had all the equipment, and obviously we had all the connections. So then in lockdown, we just ran a live stream festival, literally a live stream festival, and we had like all of the biggest names of drum and bass coming through. And we were like, right, what are we going to do now? It's like, okay, we're going to fucking rent a tank field. Right, there's a load of tanks in Wales. Right, okay, get the fire people in, because none of the music people had any work, did they? Because it was lockdown. So we had the pyrotechnics in there. We rented out a field full of tanks, and we had these 3 tanks lined up, pyrotechnics, fucking Shabba-Dee, who was it? Look, there's ridiculous MCs down there, like ridiculous names down there. We were like, right, okay, right, let's do a live stream from here. And then we're like, what are we gonna do now? Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll rent out Gloucester Prison. So we rented out Gloucester Prison. Yeah, we did. We rented out Gloucester Prison, set up the live stream shit, and went, right, we're doing a live stream in Gloucester Prison. And
how very Johnny Cash of you.
Yeah, we did. We did loads of shit. There was a sort of there was a skate park we did. Like, it was just mad, and we were just in there, just doing live streams, just fucking. You know, the views were mental. We were getting like 1 million, 500,000 views.
Holy
like the fucking yeah, we're like kicked off properly, man. And then what? After that, fucking hell, what? Yeah, then that sort of like running down, and then I started to scratch calf. Which was still sort of run things were still like based on the same sort of premise, like trying to bring like artists up. You know what I mean? We were always like really heavily sort of LGBTQ plus. I'm so behind on that. If I've made a mistake saying actually what it is. What's the other letter?
What is it? The I, or I don't know. I mix it up too. Move on.
But anyway, my intentions are pure. But we used to, we were championing sort of trans and LGBTQ people.
That's huge because it's a population that's just forgot about a lot and pushed. Man,
from the start, man. I mean, my best mate from school was gay as well. So even in like the early 90s when it was quite bigoted, do you know what I mean? I was in the gay clubs. Do you know what I mean? I know loads of trans people. Do you know what I mean? I've been part of that scene since the beginning. And I've always sort of championed it. It's like Mandy Dexterous. I've known Mandy for like sort of 20 years. And, you know, when I met Mandy, she was actually knows M now, sorry, and it's they. They were like supporting me like 20 years ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, you know, I've been heavily involved in all of that for a long time, and pushing that through has been really important. And we did that in Run Things. We did that on Boombastic Sounds, obviously the URL, obviously, and the Scratch Cast now
open to everybody, you know.
Well, it has to be, man, because we're all people. Who gives a shit what you do? Who gives a shit what you get
I've
up
gotten
to?
more insight. One of my good friends is trans, and she's trying to make it, you know, in the music industry and stuff, you know, as a professional musician. And it's just, I get an insight to how almost the industry is set up against people, you know, that are different. It's almost like, it feels like a good old boys club a lot of times. And
it's
a lot of barriers that shouldn't be there for people that, you know, identify differently than.
So the problem is with music, right? It's something that everybody wants to do. Yeah. Everybody wants to be a star. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to like do these things. Now, if you're not creative and you don't have the skills to be musical and you can't do any of that, then you try. If you don't have the obsession to it, then you're not going to get very good, and you're just going to constantly keep getting pushed away. And people in minorities can be quite susceptible to blaming their minority status on that, and it can get quite strange, because for you to build a music career, you've got to do something for free and get no notice for a long time.
Yep.
It just so happened that me and Mark, when we started this up, we'd been doing music for a long time, and we had connections, and we were known in certain circles. So we'd have a push straight away.
Jumping off spot, kind of.
Run Things was, again, it was a well-established label. I was well known. Do you know what I mean? I was playing all over the place. Do you know what I mean? I was getting booked for decent money. The Scratch Cap again. Do you know what I mean? It's like that happened. That I've got so many, like, been in music all my life. Do you know what I mean? I can pick up the phone to quite a lot of people. I know venue people. I've got, do you know what I mean? So it's all, do you know what I mean? I've done my bit. So from the outside, it might look like, oh, the privileged 43-year-old white man is doing well in music, but you know what they don't see.
Put the work in.
The 20 years of getting nothing for it. Do you know what I mean? So the point I'm trying to make is, obviously, I'm not saying that your trans friend isn't very good, and I'm not saying your trans friend is good. But what I am saying is it's a double-edged sword. Do you know what I mean? If it's not working for you, it's very easy to get down in the dumps and say it's not working. But what you're not noticing is all the people that are enjoying it. And you're not noticing all of the shit that's happening around you because you can't see it, because you're so focused on what you're doing. So I feel like there's discrimination in all parts of society. 100%.
Unfortunately.
No matter what you do, there's discrimination. Do you know what I mean? I'm a little bit short. I'm very abrasive. I get quite excited. People get annoyed in my company after short periods of time. So I get a certain amount of discrimination.
Can
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I knew he was going to say something.
But, you know, I get a certain amount of discrimination. Do you know what I mean? But again, I was born into the body of probably one of the most privileged bodies that you could be born in the world. Do you know what I mean? I was born in the UK. I'm a white male. Do you know what I mean? I don't go through a lot of shit. But on the other hand, there's a lot of positive discrimination that comes with that, because when people talk to me and they get my opinion, this guy doesn't know he's had it easy all his life. They don't know my life. They don't actually know how hard I fucking had it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I have seen forms of discrimination. Now, I'm not saying the discrimination that I've gone through is anywhere near as bad as somebody that's trans or is gay or grew up in the 80s and 90s as a black person surrounded by white people. Do you know what I mean? There are different levels of it. But what you have to realize is
still everywhere.
You know, all of those things that you feel like you're being discriminated against are actually positives. Women get discriminated against quite heavily in the music scene, and they get exploited quite heavily in the music scene. But on the other hand, there are a lot of benefits of being a woman in the music scene. Also, being a trans person in music, you know, again, you'll find a lot of people will be discriminative, but you'll find that in the world anyway. But I feel like there's as much of an advantage to being a trans person in music as there is to not being a trans person in the music. And if you focus on the negatives of what you feel is going on and not the positives of what you can bring to the party, your originality, do you know what I mean? The pain that you've grown up in and the confusion you've had to go on trying to navigate yourself through the world. And if you put that into the negative thoughts of what you're being discriminated against and not the music you're making, you're going to fail. Do you know what I mean? And as hard as that is not to put in the correct place, if you can manage to turn all of your sights on, people hate me, I'm this, people like, do you know what I mean?
Like a positive thing.
If you can move all of that into your music and just focus on your music and not look at why you think you're being discriminated against, you'll fucking fly. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So you know, the world's a hard place, man, and I can't talk about what it's like to be black or what it's like to be a woman or what it's like to be a trans person or gay in this society. But what I can do is I can liken the potential discriminations that I have to deal with as a person and how I deal with it, and then sort of get a roundup of it. Do you know what I mean? If I was speaking to a friend of mine who's Indian, and they were saying, how bad it is in the UK at the moment with all of this sort of the immigrants coming in and how discriminated against
like that
feels.
Here too.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I was talking to them about it, and they were sort of saying like 4 or 5 points that I hadn't even thought about, and I couldn't even process because I'm not a person of color and I'm not a person of color surrounded in an environment like this, so I can't understand it. But
it's hard to have an opinion, you know.
But the thing is, and the scary thing at the moment about it is, it's really hard that you have to be very careful where you have open discussions, because sometimes you have to say things that can be offensive,
right? To
learn that it's offensive, because unless you say it, you don't know it's offensive because you haven't lived in that body and you haven't seen it from there. So, I'm lucky enough to have people around me in all different forms of society that know I'm not a horrible person and know that I've got my best intentions. And when I have these discussions with them, if I say something offensive, they go, "That's really offensive." So I'm so sorry, I didn't know why. Why is it offensive? Then I get explained. Then you grow as a person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It makes you better at the end of the day.
It makes you better, isn't it? And you kind of have to have those slip ups sometimes to learn where you go. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know you're being naughty unless you're naughty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The difference is if you're naughty and it's like, fuck everybody, I'm being naughty, I'm not listening. That's the difference between somebody who goes, "Oh shit, I was naughty."
That's just being a dickhead. That's just being a dickhead.
Basically, yeah. So you're just defining dickhead for a bit. So yeah, going back to your original point, yeah, there's a lot of discrimination. I mean, we're trying to the Scratch Calf. I mean, I really want to produce the first trans DMC champion. Like the Scratch Calf, I need the first trans DMC champion. Do you know what I mean?
What's DMC champion? Can you explain that to me?
Dance music competition. So it's the biggest DJ competition in the world. It's been going since the 80s. It's like the competition. So when somebody gets crowned that, they're literally the best technical DJ in the world. basically.
Okay.
There hasn't been a trans that I don't know of any trans turntablists. And the Scratch Cap, we want to find one, and we want to push that person and help them and move them forward to become that, because it'd be all, do you know what I mean? It's like getting trans people into the sort of news for positive things, and like sort of, do you know what I mean, using music as a way to go, do you know what I mean? Why are you being bigoted against that person? You've got no reason to be bigoted against that person. You know, when these people are out there doing that, instead of like, you know, these arguments happening and seeing the real negative side of anger and fear and sadness happening in these conversations, you're never going to get anywhere, are you? Because all you're seeing on either side is one side being angry, sad and negative, and one side being angry, sad and negative, when you can actually look at these people going, oh, they're just doing what I do, but they look a little bit different and their brain works a little bit different, and then suddenly it becomes more accepting, isn't it?
Right. And it's like the other way. It's like kind of like two wrongs don't make a right, you know? So
exactly.
You won't get anywhere.
But
I'm sitting here thinking, you know, I can't think of any like trans turntablists. I know trans musicians and stuff, you know, that do synthesizers or whatnot, but
there aren't any.
Like actual,
there aren't any
turntablists. I can't think of any.
There's trans DJs, obviously, but moving into turntablism and that sort of culture. I mean, obviously, hip hop has got a really bad name, you know, from gangster rap times. Do you know what I mean? Like hip hop's got a really bad name for being quite bigoted. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes I listen to some of those throwback, you know, gangster rap songs that, you know, I grew up on or whatever, and you know, I'll hear it again. I'll be like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's quite bad.
Shit, they just said that.
It came out in a different time. Do you know what I mean? It came out when you could say things like that, man.
Right.
When you growing up as a teenager in the 90s and hearing shit in the 80s, that stuff was rife.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just said. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it was just part of terminology. It was neither. Some people said it offensively, some people didn't. Some people just used it as language, but that language was used. Do you know what I mean? Yep. And the hip hop's really funny because obviously the house music scene and hip hop happened at the same time in America.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? The house music was the club music, and hip hop was like the sort of soul, and do you know what I mean? That was the stuff you heard on the street music. Yeah. So. Yep. You know, and the gay side of things tended to be more over house than hip hop, but then gangster rap started coming in, and it was like, you know, there were a lot of quite well-known gay rappers that were still out doing that stuff. So it's really sad because hip hop has got quite a bigoted reputation, but in fact, it's not really. Do you know what I mean? In reality, it's not, but widely known. So I think you find trans people tend not to get involved with it because of the fear of the fact that you've got all of these old records. But you look back at any old records and there's quite a lot of bigotry in there, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? Yes. If you were to like, if you were to not get into a style of music because of the things that style of music said 20 years ago, you probably wouldn't be involved in music, would you?
Very much at all. Nope.
So we need a trans turntablist, basically.
We got to make that happen.
We need to make that happen. Yeah, it's my dream to make that happen. Basically.
Yeah, I know some trans folks that do like DJing, but it's like you said, it's the turntablist side that's unique.
We need to get that there. Come on, then start your questions.
What? I don't even have questions.
What about your normal questions? I felt offended when Mark was like, "You won't be able to answer any of your questions." Oh, you do have some questions.
No. So no, but back to the Scratch Cafe. How long have you been doing that? Forgive me if you already said.
The Scratch Cafe is 2 years old this week. 2 years old this week. Yeah, man.
Are you guys doing anything for the 2-year birthday, or?
We're doing the Unstoppable Battle.
I've been seeing the flyers that you have going around.
Doing that. Yeah, so we're doing like one of the maddest, the maddest. Oh, here we go. What's this?
Season 2.
Welcome to the Swearcast. Now I'm gonna have to warn you. So if you've got your kids in the fucking car, I would turn the podcast off straight away.
For fuck's sakes, Oliver.
Said the word cunt 4 times in the last episode, so I'm really sick. Was it 6 times?
No,
You said
4.
it was 4. So I think
He
Who's
did
counting?
273.
it was 273 fucks, of which Buck Wild thought he had a chance of beating. I was like, mate, you're delusional.
You're delusional.
Literally delusional.
But you can't be
quite a
fucking with a
few.
professional, man.
No, literally. I mean, the first 5 words.
Every single time I've used it, they've tested. You know, they're so strong and powerful. I can do what I want with them, and they don't break. Literally unstoppable. So that's where the name come from. And originally, the unstoppable name was I was going to do a pitch to do a tour with Technics and see if I could go around and then do a demo of me with the deck upside down, then spinning it, then sideways, and then doing the needle drumming thing I did in this year. And then I thought that's a pretty good name. And then I just thought, good name for a battle, Unstoppable. And then I just went from there. And part of that set, this magical mystery tour thing of turntables, I was going to do, and I still might do this, I was going to go to a gig and I just get a wheel of fortune, I spin the wheel, and I've got every genre of music on there, and whatever it lands on, that's what I play that night. So if I go and it lands on drum and bass, I play drum and bass.
That sounds like the inside of my head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, honestly, it's exactly. It's never know. But I have no choice. I literally, it's got to be house, hip hop, funk, jazz, anything. If it lands on that, that's what you're going to get. And I just thought, how can I introduce this luck element to DJing? So I just thought, I thought of the ITF battles first of all, because they're like one of the first ones, and the new music seminars. And I thought of the Supremacy battle.
That's Matt. So that guy. So the guy that was talking, that's Maya Lloyd, DJ XL. So I bet you've seen the clip of the guy that picks up a turntable and scratches with his chin.
Yeah.
That's him.
Oh no shit.
That is him. Yeah. That's Maya Lloyd. Yeah, he invented the crab scratch. Literally.
Crab scratch.
He invented that guy's. The other guy there's DJ Random, like one of the originals. Like, were bad, man. He was like hanging about with Vivienne Westwood in the 90s.
Oh
like,
damn!
On the front of DJ magazine, he's fucking legend. But yeah, we started it 2 years ago just because me and Dan just wanted somewhere to scratch, and then it just ballooned again, like the right place, right time thing. It just ballooned, and we just set up a load of turntables in the middle.
You have a way of being in the right place at the right time, don't you?
No, but I've been in the wrong place at the right time and the wrong place at the wrong time, and I've been in the right place at the wrong time so many times. You've just got to you've just got to make sure you're in a lot of places, and 90% of the time those places are wrong or it doesn't quite match up. But then sometimes
98.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Like, I mean, what in the last 20 years, I've been in the right place at the wrong time about 20 times, and the wrong time was just me. So I mean, when I was DJing techno, one of the largest like techno DJs in my scene was like, "You're really good. Let's do something." And then I went and had a scratch with him, and then I ended up like running off in the session smoking heroin in the toilets. Do you know what I mean?
Shit.
Yeah, like one of the original bands, like our demo was recorded by EMI's demo recorder. So he just literally fucking came from like doing who is it? Kylie Minogue spinning around demo, then came into the studio to record us. And then me and the lead singer got addicted to heroin. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so like,
heroin.
Yeah, fucking bastard, ruined everything. But no, I'd be, you've just got to be in places, and you've just got to be there with the right energy. And if you're in places with the right energy, then the right things happen. But if you're doing this work and your head's fucked, or you're not doing it for the right reason, it just ends up being the right place but the wrong time. And it's just the last sort of 10 years, I've been slowly getting, quit the drugs, and I've been in places, and they've just been slowly getting righter and righter. And then, the older you get, the more wise you get, and the more you're able to act correctly and sort of look out for the right signs and sort of get opportunities when they turn up. Do you know what I mean? And the scratch cap is definitely one of those, because it was done through pure reasons. It was done for unselfish reasons, and it's just grown, man. And we're just doing something that we're passionate about, and it's happening. So yeah, there's it's not just luck. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have luck. You've got to have hard work. You've got to be passionate about what you're doing, and you've got to enjoy what you're doing and not resent doing it to have those correct situations. Like the battle happened because Maya came on the podcast. It was like, right, what's the next thing we can do for the Scratch Cat? We know enough scratch DJs now to start documenting hip hop and how hip hop turned into turntablism in the 80s. And Random, who was sat there, like he'd been on my socials because I started beat juggling 4 years ago, and I started posting I've just started. This is what I do. What tips have you got? Yeah, I'm gonna document the journey, and I was just putting my really shit videos out there just so people could, a lot of the time people would just troll them. But
I'm a long way, man.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
I feel like I've been kind of watching that progress too, that journey there.
I think everybody has. Do you know what I mean? I've barely been shy about it. But Random found me on one of the turntablist pages, and he was like, "Oh, this kid's fucking funny. He's just putting shit joggles up." He's just started, and he started following me, and then he saw the Scratch Cap. We were running the Scratch Cap for about a year before we started the podcast, and I just went, Random, we want to do a podcast. You want to be on it? He was like, yeah, fucking right, we do. Do you know what I mean? He's like a pillar. He's a pillar of the community. He hangs around with fucking DJ Pogo and Cutmaster Swift.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're his best mates. Do you know what I mean? He's like, he was there in the 80s when all this shit was happening. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you put things out there for the right reasons. These people sort of end up coming around you. Do you know what I mean?
Gravitate towards it.
It's like, yeah, of course they do, because you're doing something they're passionate about. And if you keep up it and you're honest and you're not doing it for the wrong reasons, then they want to be involved. So then obviously Random went on, and then Dan was in the DMCs last year, and we met Maya through one of the guys that DJ XL through one of the guys at the Scratch Caf. And then that made sense. He came on the podcast. He was like, I really want to do a battle. And then on the podcast, I was like, well, we've got access to a venue. I've got loads of decks. Let's do it. And he was like, thought about it. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then we went literally like the day he said, let's do it. We went and pitched the venue, and we were like, right, we want to do a battle. And they were like, yeah, okay. And then the battle's coming, and it's literally next month, 13th. It's going to be fucking absolutely mental.
Is it going to be recorded or streamed or anything?
So we have got the Global Funk Fam coming in to do all that. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So it's going to be streamed and filmed.
We can catch it over on their page, or what?
I think it may be going out on Twitch live on the Global Funk Fam's page. Yeah, maybe. It all depends on like sort of venue issues and a load of other factors, but it could be out there. There's definitely going to be some bits out live. So yeah, you should be able to see it, or you can come down to Bristol to watch it. It's from 2 in the afternoon to 2 in the morning. The battle is from 2 till 5 or 6. And then after that, it's a who's who of turntablism royalty doing sets for the rest of the evening.
Nice.
Sort of after party.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
That sounds like a good ass time. I saw one of the videos for the Scratch Cafe, and it was really a cool idea because, and I don't know if they're all this way or if it was that one or what, but there's like an actual people, like a band playing instruments and stuff, and you guys were like scratching along with the band. It was so cool.
So that was me playing bass, and that was my mate Mark, who was in one of my first. That was my gay friend from my gay friend from school. So he was playing drums, I was playing bass, and Dan was on guitar. So yeah, we did the band jams to go along with it, and it was really good for a while. But the problem is, you get people wanting to come along and be an open.
Your dog cracks me up.
Look how big he is. Look how big he is.
Holy shit.
He's fun. His head's that big. King.
And there's ass.
What are you doing?
Doggy ass.
He's massive. What are you doing?
I see him in the pictures and stuff, but he's even bigger in like person.
No, you cannot understand how big he is. He's like 12 stone, Eric.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he's massive. But yeah, what was I
got
saying?
A little tiny Cocker Spaniel, you can like almost...
Size of his head, Eric. What was I saying then? I can't remember.
We were talking about the band thing in the
Scratch. So we kept having people coming up that wanted to jam. Do you know what I mean? And then when the main reason for a scratch jam is to scratch, and then you've got a load of really terrible musicians playing, the vibe dies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like people I got so much to deal with. Me and Dan have got so much to deal with running it that Can you hear the dog scratching on the carpet?
I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
He just digs up my carpet for fun. I don't know why.
Here, I'm gonna rearrange this carpet and.
That's what he does. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, I don't like the way the suede's going, the direction of this carpet.
He's basically like, fuck your carpet. I can show you. Look, I'm going to show you.
Fuck your carpet. He's like, what? I didn't sign the press release.
He's like, look at him. Look at him, the bastard.
Yeah.
What, are you going to stop you after fucking the carpet up?
He's like, I did not sign a press release. Who said you could film me right now?
He's my dog. I paid for his food. I do what I want with it.
That's where the sign off was. I pay for your food, bitch.
Yeah, I paid for your food. You don't eat. But yeah, so yeah, it just wasn't working. It was a really cool idea, but
yeah,
it didn't really work in the end because you just got loads of like.
It is kind of a logistical nightmare, isn't it?
I mean, it was good fun, and it takes a lot of work to do. But yeah, it just didn't. It didn't tie in with the sort of ethos of the Scratch Cafe in the end. So yeah. It was just one of those situations.
So how long you been, into turntablism and like DJing and stuff? I see, like that seems to be your main thing. I know you play bass and stuff too, in that. But what got you into DJing? Like when did you start? And tell me that.
1994, I think.
Oh wow!
Got my first turntables. I think I listened to a rave song by a rave tape by DJ Psy from Fantasia 2. It was a New Year's Eve party from 91 to 92, and I heard it, and I heard some scratching. And I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Right?
I never heard that sound before, and it was that long ago. Like you didn't have videos of people doing this shit. There was no YouTube. There was no internet.
You just had like the audio.
You literally just had the fucking tape packs, man. And because I'd been playing guitar and drums and bass when I was a kid, when I was younger, I thought it was a band of people up there that were doing the songs. I thought there was a drummer and I thought there was a horn section and some strings, and they were all up there doing a performance. And then suddenly there was this. I was like, "What the fuck is that? What is that noise?" And I didn't know what it was. And then. It was like for about 2 or 3 years when I was a kid, I was just listening to these tape packs, thinking that, thinking there were these bands playing it because I was like 12. I couldn't afford to buy DJ mag. I didn't know what I knew there were DJs. I didn't know the two were linked. Then suddenly it was just linked together, and it was like a turntable. So I got a record player. Got it, and went wicked, and I was like, "That's the noise." Do you know what I mean? And then I was just obsessed with scratching. I didn't get into the turntablism because my payoff was doing sort of an hour techno set. Do you know what I mean? Or it was like making techno. So the whole hip hop thing and looping records and stuff, I knew about it, but it didn't really excite me. And then obviously, like as it got later on, my DJing career was like based on mixing for an hour. So that's what I focused on, and I did a little bit of scratching over the top of it. So I wasn't really into turntablism, but I've been scratching for a long time. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But not to the level of obsession that I do now, because now I don't really do any slow mixes. I'm just doing turntablism all the time. That's all I do. So yeah, it's been 4 years since I really got serious about it. But I'm not amazing because I've got this far in 4 years. I've been used to and using and scratching turntables for 25 years. So really I should be a hell of a lot better than I am, to be fair. But my sort of leaps and bounds in learning are fucking just go a lot faster because of my previous experience. Why does Mark just keep popping up?
I know, he pops up and he just points randomly and disappears.
Why? What yourself, Mark?
We love you, Mark.
Fuck, my mic's been off the entire time, god damn it.
See what you thought that you were coming in saying things.
Yeah. Today's show is not going well for me. It's not going well for me at all.
Was he like interjected, trying to be horrible to me or something? See, that's what happened.
I'm curious what he was saying those times.
See,
it wasn't nice things, I can tell you. God,
damn it. Right, you know what I was saying, right? When you do things from the wrong, like, emotional standpoint, when you do things for the wrong reason, they don't work out. Yeah, seeing that. I'm being honest here. I'm opening my heart. I'm being beautiful to him, telling the story as it is, and then I'm doing a good show, people are enjoying it, and Mark's being a prick and his mic doesn't work. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Prime example.
I'm kind of glad about that now. Anyway, carry on.
Well, you know the real cunt is, don't you know? You know the real cunt is.
Wow, Mark. Wow.
Was his mic muted then, or did he try to say
I think
something?
so. I think so.
But yeah.
He was probably trying to say something nice that time, and it was muted.
He definitely wasn't trying to say something nice. No, it definitely wasn't.
So yeah, you've been DJing and like turntable stuff for a long time, then, huh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What's the biggest? What would you think is the biggest gig that you've DJ'd at?
No idea.
No idea.
No idea at all.
What's the most memorable one? What's one that like really was just so epic for you, or I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. What was like top?
So so in recent times, I started making donk music with my mate, who's part of Bangface and Wrong Music.
Yeah. I didn't even know what donk was until I saw you.
So we started making donk music, which was Russian hard bass. And we started doing that, but where Bombastic Sounds did really well in like Eastern Europe, I was quite well known in Lithuania.
Oh, shit.
And,
this is a funny story. This is genuinely a funny story. Go on, keep going. Where's the video of this? Can we find this online anywhere? Because this is genuinely hilarious. Oh, that's such a shame. I know you did some live streams, but I'm pretty sure that Facebook has destroyed them. Anyway, carry on. This is a great story.
So I wasn't aware that I was quite well known in Lithuania, and they booked me out there to go and play some donk music. It was supposed to be me and Ben going over, but Ben couldn't make it, so I went out and did it. So I was just going over there thinking they liked this moving Slavo donk music, and they were booking me. I got over there and the guy was like, "Oh, there's loads of people that want to meet you." I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. They just want to meet me, don't they?" I got there and then they took me out. They got me really drunk and gave me loads of like Eastern European speed, and then took me to a gun range.
Is Eastern European speed like something special? Are they known for their speed or something? Like
they're quite well known for their speed. Yeah, they're quite well known for their speed. So he took me to this gun range, and I was like, it was an AK.
If you haven't seen the video, right, this is like the biggest rabbit in headlights you have ever seen in your life. Like Oliver gets off the plane, and like, what the fuck is going on? You can see it through all of the streams. He's in the taxi and stuff. They interview him at this place, and like it's like TV set, and literally the whole way through it, Oliver is just like, what the fuck is going? And then they give him a gun, and he's just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with it? Anyway.
It was mad, right? So yeah, I turn up at this gun range out of my fucking face, and they're like, "Oh, you shoot?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll shoot. Yeah, whatever."
You shoot.
He fires the gun, and he's like, "It's like, can I put it away now?"
Scary. So then we get that over and done with, and they take me for something to eat, and then they get me even more drunk, and then they were, "Oh right, okay, so we go radio now." I was like, "Okay, sound, yeah." And I was expecting like some kid's house for a live stream or something. And we pull up and it's fucking big building. It looks like the BBC building.
Oh, fuck.
Looks like the BBC building in London, basically. It said it was what was it? HRT LRT, Lithuanian Public Radio Station. I was like, "What's that place?" And they were like, "That radio." I was like, "What?" It was like, "Yeah, radio." I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Oh, it's Lithuania's Lithuania's Friday night show." So it was their version of the fucking Radio 1 Friday night show.
Oh, shit.
Basically. I was like, "What?" And it was at this point my brain was like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on here? Why the fuck am I on this?" We go in there and they're like, "Oh, you've got to sign a waiver." It's like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Well, if your song's got swear words in it, then we got to fine you." I was like, "What?" And I was playing Russian hard bass, mostly Russian music. I had no idea what it said. No idea at all. And I was like, so I just signed it and I was like, whatever. Went up there and I was like, "What's going on?" He went, "Oh, you get interviewed for an hour and then you do an hour set." I was like, "What?" And I walk in, it was like a proper radio studio. It was like,
shit.
It was their version of fucking like Radio 1's Friday night dance show. That's what I was on in Lithuanian, right? and like I was fucked out of my face, like wasted.
No pressure, no pressure.
I mean, it is what it is anyway. And fuck it. And then I go and do it, and then I get interviewed in Lithuanian with a translator, and I'm like, just like, what? Just like trying to answer questions. Like, then do a set, and then like, oh, it's time for the club now. And I go to the club, and they're like, it's like people all around me. I was like, what the fuck? I was like being swarmed by people. And then I went to the backstage area, and there was just loads of people around there talking to me and shit, like crowded around me. I was just like, I just thought, this is a busy fucking green room. So I still had no idea about, do you know what I mean? That I was actually something there. Do you know what I mean? I was just like some old bloke just coming over from the UK to do a fucking donk set. And then just fucking...
He hasn't been back since.
No, they tried to get me back a couple of times, but it just didn't work out because it was just before lockdown. We were supposed to go and do a lockdown set out there. But obviously lockdown happened, so we couldn't do it. And then I stopped doing donks, so the whole thing sort of like, and obviously I stopped doing bombastic sounds and everything. So it kind of just, but yeah, that was probably the most memorable because it was just, it was just fuckery, man.
I just picture you like.
It was honestly like what I did. So I was kind of just like, it just is what it is, and it was like it's a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? Like that you don't
trying to go with the flow.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've reached a certain level of notoriety in the UK. You know what I mean? Where, like, when I go into certain areas, I get treated a little bit different because my face is known. Do you know what I mean?
Did we talk about this ego on backstage beforehand? I'm sure we did. I'm sure we did.
Ego.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm just going to name drop all these big names. And,
who have I name dropped?
Just a few. Anyway, carry on.
I haven't name dropped anybody. What is he talking about? I just said... I don't name drop. But yeah, so it was just very mad. Yeah, that was the most... That was the most mental. I mean,
just picture everybody speaking Lithuanian around you too, and you're just like, huh? What?
There's a video. There's a video.
They
of
just
me
push you where they want you.
There's a video of me somewhere in that room. A girl from over
I
there
need to
sent
see
it to
this
me in the
video.
last year. I might try and find it for you. But there's a video of me being swarmed in this thing, man. And I think from memory, like one of the DJs in there was like blah blah blah, and I was like. And I got him to sign my chest.
What the fuck?
Yeah, out of my fucking face.
Sign my chest. I'll never wash my tits again. I swear.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it was that sort of thing. Yeah, yeah, that was pretty fucking stupid. Yeah. Go on then. Next question.
Oh, so, what other? You mentioned playing bass and drums and stuff. When did you get into that? What instrument did you first start with?
I first started with an acoustic guitar that my old man got me. And then I got a bass guitar, and then it was just bass all the way, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been playing bass almost your whole life then, or? Yeah,
I should be much better.
I'm gonna try and find a video of you, your SoundCloud. Is it the Jews? DEWS?
Oh no, so I don't think any of that made it anywhere. It was the Jinx was one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
All right. The Jinx.
So this was the band. This was the band that the EMI engineer came to record because there was quite a lot of buzz about us at the time. And,
you're gonna have to give me.
Me and the lead singer got fucking addicted to heroin and just ruined it basically. Another one of those right place, wrong time.
Devil drugs. The devil drug.
Have you got a link for that at all, or how am I spelling it?
I think it's the JINX Bristol on SoundCloud, but it's so long ago. I'm not even sure. Not even sure it still exists. I've never been signed into that page. I've got no idea.
No, I can't seem to find it.
No, it's probably not even up anymore.
That honestly. Oh wait, hold on.
Well, wait. There's a will. There's a way.
This might be it, actually.
Oliver's like, fuck, he found it.
No, it's good. It's really good.
It's actually quite good, yeah.
Is that you?
That's it, yeah. What songs
Anything
are
particular?
There? What ones are there? I can't see.
You got lots, mate. Always be your fool, scared to face the night. You can't
Scared to face the night. Scared to face the night.
Okay.
I haven't heard this in so long.
Okay. 15 years ago. Oliver's playing bass.
And I do backing vocals on it. isn't it?
So yeah, that's what Oliver sounded like on bass when he almost made it, but didn't quite get
Here we
that.
go, this is the bit. The bass in a minute is probably the stuff I'm most proud of ever. The next bit is...
That was really good, man. That was really good. And you were talking all that shit about how I should be better at playing bass as long as I've been doing it, yada, yada, yada. That was sick, man.
Ask Mark how bad I am at playing bass. That was 20 years ago. Yeah. That was when I was like a finely tuned racehorse. And I should have got better from that point, but no.
Still probably a better bassist than me.
I was gonna
that's not fucking hard, is it?
You know,
but you know,
Mark's been hitting them high scores on that bass, that guitar game. I forget what it's called.
Don't even. You can. That's just fucking dumb. Don't reference a computer game.
Every time he comes over, I get him to play Primus, and he fails at it miserably. So
fucking Primus. Les Claypool, come on, Jesus Christ,
come on, come on.
You know, the guitar, I've got obsessed with the guitar again. I've been hitting the fucking jazz chords and shit, man. It's
nice.
Yeah.
The whole world of fucking sort of like the ragtime jazz progressions and all those really weird diminished things, man. I've just entered into that, and the more you learn about that, the less you actually know about music theory. I don't know much about music theory anyway. I play by ear. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like you need to know the scales. You need to know like how chord progressions work and how the sevenths work and it's just fucked. Yeah, so I'm just sat there. I've just got to the point where I can sort of seamlessly go through the shapes in one scale, but it's just putting them together. It's just so I just sit upstairs on my my semi-acoustic Epiphone in my bed at night, just like twiddling away with those fucking weird diminished sevenths. It's fucking lush.
I got a Stratocaster. I play a little bit. I'm all right, not great. But I find myself getting lost more making crazy noises with it and running it through effects and stuff than actually making music. I'm kind of I'm a noisy little bastard.
start learning the jazz stuff, because your mind just goes, oh my God. Like honestly, when you start learning these jazz chords, suddenly like a whole world of arpeggios opens up to you. And you start learning these, and it's like you play them, and it takes them a few times of holding it to get it right, and then suddenly, like when you first play it, because your fingers are all fucked, and you're like trying too hard to make it work, the note doesn't work, and then you get used to it, and then suddenly you just go, and you're like, oh shit! Then you start like arpeggiating them, and it's like fuck, and then suddenly your brain just like, like when like a toddler draws like a cup. It doesn't look like a cup. Yeah. Right. And like the more I've been like learning these jazz chords, I've been looking at music like a toddler looks at a cup.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've been seeing the most basic bar chord version of it. And then suddenly it's just like brilliant. It's like, what? Why does that work? And then you're like, oh, sling, oh shit. It's just like so like your whole production would change. Because you'll just know why these different notes resonate together. Because if you play them independently or you don't play them all together, they don't work. And they're just weird rule with chords. If you remove one of the notes, then potentially it won't work as a chord, but it only works together, and it's because of the way they resonate together. And then suddenly your understanding of how music moves and how keys change. It's like honestly like Yeah, I mean, it would work on computer. Learning the jazz stuff on a piano would work just as well with a guitar. But yeah, unless you understand that, I think your understanding of how music works and how things resonate together are just fucking You'll be looking back thinking, oh, I was looking at music like a toddler drawing a cup.
Yeah,
you know what
all
I mean?
the wrong way. Yeah,
literally.
I just plug random cables in and go, ooh. That's funny.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. No, you've got to understand why you're doing it. Because if you don't understand why plugging an oscillator into a fucking sine wave, if you don't understand what that oscillator is doing, then you won't use it properly, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you don't understand why fucking using an oscillator with a filter and what that's actually doing to the sine wave. If you don't understand what it's doing, you're just making silly noises.
Yeah,
it's when you start understanding the process and understanding why that goes there, and why people use that, and why that's even on the machine, then you're just going to plateau. It's sort of basic. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of have to get a little bit obsessive. It's like with the beat juggling and all the jazz chords. Like, I watch all these beat juggling videos and they look really cool and they look really unattainable. But you have to get obsessed to learn about them. And the more you learn about them, the more you know you don't understand.
Yes.
But the more you learn, the more you understand and the more you can actually see what's happening. And then when you understand what's happening, you can go, right, okay, I can see how that works because I can apply this technique to do that. And then suddenly, like, like when the Terminator's looking at something and all these codes come up and it's like suddenly your brain starts to go and then that section goes there and then that section goes there and then you'll listen to like a piece of music and you're like, fuck, that works because of this.
Right.
That person must have known that to be able to do that. And then when you have all these little pieces, you can start putting them in the correct order. Then you start getting into real God level production and music understanding. And then when you understand this, it's then really that you understand how much you don't know. And then you can start learning all of the stuff. It's like, well, yeah, because if you don't know what question to ask, then you're never going to get the right answer. So you have to get yourself to a level where you can ask somebody the right question or at least Google the right question to get the answer you need. And unless you have that basic understanding, you can't ask the right question. And you just end up just hitting your head against the ceiling all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like with my modular and synths and stuff, I feel like I got like this basic, I got the basic understanding. I know what this does, that does, but it's fun for me because there is a bit of experimentation with it too, that you learn more through the experimenting. You take those basic building blocks and then you kind of be like, oh, well, what happens if I do this? And, you just build and build on it.
You definitely need that. You definitely need that. But like, if you don't understand all these things you're putting together, you don't know what to take out to get it's like my biggest issue when I was younger was I'd have these songs written in a whole song would be written in my head before I even put it down or tried to record it. It'd be in there and it would just be given to me. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd have the song I'd be walking around and the whole song would be there. The lyrics would be there. The melody would be there. The breakdowns, it would all be there in there. And my lack of skill stopped me from being able to make that exactly the same
as like in your head.
It was I couldn't extract the ideas out of my head. I couldn't remove them. So I had all of this amazing stuff that I just couldn't get out, and I couldn't get that amazing stuff out because I didn't understand enough about the tools and the theory in music to be able to go, yeah, that's that there, put it down. So yeah, there is while you're as young as you are, Eric, you could either not get this theory down now and wake up at 43 and then have to start doing it, or you could do it now and then be 43 and go, I'm actually a fucking badass and I know exactly where all of these things go. Do you know what I mean? Right. So the more you put it off, the less time on this earth you're going to have with that understanding, and when you get that, you'll realize it's like, oh fuck. So I'm 43 now, and I can juggle to a level that I can stand next to most people. I can't stand next to the real bad man, but what I can do is I can do something legit. They're like, yeah, that's cool. But
right.
There's not a day that doesn't go past when I'm like, shit, I've probably only got 30 years and been able to do this. I wish I'd been doing it for the 20 years before. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Oh shit. Something going on in my.
What is going on?
I don't know. Somebody's calling. Stop it. John Coffee is calling me. Sorry, John.
Perfect timing.
I know. All of a sudden, I just had ringing in my head. I was like, what the fuck? No, but I totally get what you mean, and it's better to get a head start on it, you know. I try to learn more about music theory and stuff, but I always run into, it makes me think of like this meme I saw of like a rocket scientist saying, well, it's not music theory, and music theory people are like, well, it's not like it's rocket science. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot to it, and it does my head in sometimes.
Well, you have to start like there's an interesting thing with self-taught people. Like your skill level musically will overtake your understanding and much quicker if you're a certain sort of person. Like if you've been listening to music all of your life, you'll understand. You know, you'll understand a basic chord progression, and you'll be able to get that basic chord progression a lot faster than you're understanding what it is. So your ability to do things often overtakes your understanding. But then what happens is, while your actual ability to do these things is overtaking your understanding of it, you're moving further and further away and creating a bigger and bigger gap from these bits that you kind of need to know before you get there. So it's like, you kind of like, the pleasure isn't the learning, is it? The pleasure is making those sweet chord progressions, and the pleasure is making a song and mixing that song down and showing other people. That's the pleasure, and that's the dopamine, isn't it? That's why we do it. But you know, without that knowing the technique, knowing the theory behind it, the more you do it, the further you're pushing yourself away, and the bigger gap of basics and foundations you're missing out on. And then the least time you do it, the more you're pulling yourself away, and the more complicated things you try and do, you won't be able to do, because you don't understand why and what you have to do, which is probably what you're coming up against when you're like I need to learn theory. I need to learn how to do this that I can play, but like you don't know enough to be able to know it. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of have to go, okay, do I continue pissing in the wind and just creating things I want and getting further and further away from the foundations I need to know? Or do I do like an hour a week, 10-minute intervals? I'm going to look at scales. I'm going to look at why those scales work. And I'm going to look at what notes work in that scale. And I'm going to look at what scales work in the major and minor of those scales. And then start, do you know what I mean? So you could just start.
And it's an obtainable. You know, it's obtainable when you break it down like that.
You have to break it down into really small bits. You got to like go back. You know what I mean? Like reading music. I really want to read music. I can read music on timings. I can look at written music and go da da ba da da ba da
right
da 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 ba da ba ba. Do you know what I mean? I can see that rhythmically, but the notes is where I'm struggling. But from the jazz chords, I'm starting to learn these scales and learning how they work. But also when you know your scales, in every scale, you've got every note in that scale. So if you know where the notes are in the scale, you can then suddenly start finding chords. And then that like secret, you know, like the really beautiful stuff, you're like, oh, what's the secret sauce that person's got?
Right.
It's because they know what notes go where. And when they do a note, they're like, okay, well, that works there, that works there, that works there. And then you can start adding to it. And then suddenly your lead lines become a bit better. And then suddenly you can start, like, you know how to tune your drums properly because you know what notes are working in that scale for the root note you're in. And then suddenly that secret sauce in your production suddenly starts coming together because you've got the knowledge. And then it starts like, you know, those tunes that just glue together so well. And you're like, how the fuck is that person doing it?
Because they know their shit.
because they know their shit, and they know that the E, right, resonates really closely to a certain BPM, and D resonates really closely to a certain BPM. So what you'll start finding in drum and bass and rave music and most music, the dance bass that's designed to punch a system, is it will be in the key, right, that resonates at the closest BPM, or the closest frequency that fits perfectly within that BPM. So all of your frequencies are running, and it starts to glue together, yeah. And if you know your scales, you know what weird notes work in that scale, then your hats and all your percussion will suddenly start sitting correctly with minimal EQ, because they're sitting in the correct range. You see what I mean? And if you're doing it by ear, right? If you're doing it by ear, then it will never get there, because it's filled up, and you've just got this whole load of mud that you've just put on there. It's like, fuck it, yeah. You have to really know this shit, and when you do know this shit, and suddenly it just goes, and then you're not processing so much, are you?
Yeah, no shit. I think I was working with Fanatic 12,000, Stefan Attic. He teaches music and stuff, and so we were doing for a while, at least twice a week, an hour or two, where you get on a call, like kind of like we are now. And I had my guitar and, just learning through it. And that's probably the most helpful for my music production, because even though we were doing it with guitars and, that kind of thing, it opened my mind. The
dog wants to go for a wee. 1 second. Mark, come in and fill some space. Come on, Mark. There we go.
Titties.
Do you want an Oliver story?
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'll give you an Oliver story. So we were at Lakota. Me, 2 or 3 other guys. Oliver, his girlfriend stood behind him. One of the guys turns to Oliver and says, "Is that your girlfriend?" And Oliver turns around and goes, "No, that's just a hole I'm fucking." With the girl stood right behind him. Let's just say
a real gentleman, huh?
Yeah, he didn't realise the girl was stood right behind him. He was kind of like swinging his dick, and literally, you turn around.
I bet he didn't get laid that night.
No,
I bet he
ended the
didn't get laid
relationship.
that night.
Ended the relationship.
I wonder why.
Would you want some background on that story?
Not especially, but go on.
What background do you have for that story?
So
there's not much more to it.
There's loads more to it.
Really?
It's a conspiracy.
This girl in particular, that's how she was acting with me.
Oh shit! Okay,
right.
Okay.
So that's how she was with me.
Like matching the.
I'm gonna try justify my very misogynistic statement. Hold up there. Wait a minute.
That's how she was acting with me, and then
she made me do it. She made me do it.
that was a fix. So it was set. She was just doing that. But what I didn't realise, because I was so fucked in the head, that actually from the initial conception and the arrangement of what was happening, it had actually moved on a little bit, and she started getting feelings for me. But I hadn't realised. So when this bloke came up to me and said that, I was sort of just off the cuff, like, "Oh, do you know what I mean?" Like, because I never thought that I was a good person to be around. And I just thought she was using me to fuck. Like me as a person wasn't good enough to be with.
You could see the moment in her face where she went from "I quite like Oliver" to "Wow, this boy's a cunt."
It's terrible. And it was all because I didn't have any self-confidence, and I didn't think I could be loved. So when that bloke said that to me, "Oh, is that your girlfriend?" "No, it's just a whole load of fuck." Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not. There's no misogyny there. There's no like, "I'm the big dog." It was literally because I hated myself and I couldn't see anybody else loving me, and because it was set up like that, I couldn't see this person falling for me, and I said that because it was relevant to the situation in my mind.
Now, do we all believe that? Or was Oliver just swinging his dick around his mates?
I never swung my dick. I've never had to because I never thought enough of myself to have to swing my dick, because I was always the worst person in the room, and I never used to go into rooms because I couldn't stand being that awful person. And there's still a little bit of that now, but I've done a lot of growth. As a human
Oliver
being, I'm learning
at
to love myself.
parties, Jesus fucking Christ. If there's a stereo at the party and he's not in control of it, oh my God. Right over to it. Quick, let's put some fucking ridiculous, I don't know, Helter Skelter from 92 on. Listen to this bit, listen to this bit, listen to this bit. Good grief, good grief.
Yeah, because I need to be kicked out. I need to be
Yeah, honestly, like I remember we went to Portsmouth or something, and literally, like the stereo was all the way across the other end of the room. There was fucking bodies, you know, in the front room. There was about 30 people in there. You could just see Oliver like standing over the bodies to try and get to the fucking thing. And as soon as he did, fucking Helter Skelter comes on, and it's like, oh no, here we go again. Somebody's and like for hours as well. It's like, oh man, here we go again. Anyway,
my safe place. My safe
God. Right next to the stereo.
better than me.
Check this bag.
You do
So,
better than me.
so I go, Mark, can you fill some space when I let my dog out for a weird? He just like brings up a really awful fucking story from my pad. Thanks, Mark.
There's loads of them, mate. There's absolutely loads of them. There really, really is.
I don't
Go on.
Probably don't remember the time you picked up there was something keeping the decks down or something at the Black Swan, and you kind of like smacked your head into it and just kind of bled everywhere, all over everything.
No, I did that quite a bit, yeah.
The DJ that you annoyed by tapping him on the shoulder, who was it? Nifty, by tapping him on the shoulder. Nifty just turns around after about 5 minutes of time, grabs you by the throat, pushes you over the stairwell, and just kind of lets you go, and you're just kind of giggling the entire way through it.
I'm playing with Nifty in February.
Where are you playing with him? We'll remind him of that story when he held you by the throat.
Kelvin's 50th
Kelvin's
birthday.
50th birthday party.
Yeah.
Nice,
Should be
nice.
right. I did see your name on the flyer and think, my God, Kelvin got him out of fucking retirement. Well,
Did you notice how higher my name is on the flyer than yours normally is on there?
I didn't. I just saw that your name was there, and I'm like, they'll probably let you down anyway, boys. You know, just like put his name on the flyer. You know, what difference does it make? Whether he'll turn up or not on the night is a whole different ball game, anyway.
Well, he does have a history of standing up.
Yeah.
At least, so.
Yeah. Last set I could find of him was from Clownfest 3. I did try and find his scratch routine one, but I could not find it anywhere.
Oh, what, the one with the Bee Gees?
Yeah.
Oh.
Over and over.
Why did you do that to us?
If anybody can remember what day it was, or whatever.
You can literally find it on my profile and just put Bee Gees in, or just most annoying thing ever. Just put most annoying thing ever on my profile, and you'll find it.
On Facebook.
Facebook, yeah, most annoying thing ever.
All right, well, I'll go search for that. It was
like, what can I do for Clownfest? As I tell you what, I'm just going to try and annoy
torture people the most.
How can I torture people the most? Look how big his head is. Look,
it's
my
like
nose to nose.
2 or 3 of yours.
Nose to nose, yeah. Come on, Em. Come on, jump it up.
You know, you do better than me though. When I go to parties, I have a tendency of tripping and falling into the DJ equipment.
Yeah, you see, I just don't go to them. I just don't go to them, basically.
I don't either, because I know I'm going to fall into shit.
Yeah, fuck parties, basically. It's just fucking world of slobber and shit, man. Oh, it's just slobbered all over me. Look.
No.
Slobber everywhere. Come on, jump up here. Come on. Stop it. Up here.
I went to a gig of Sarah Summers in New York City last weekend.
Yeah.
And I held my reputation, but it wasn't the DJ this time. It was the guy that does the visuals, the lighting and stuff. I'm dancing, I'm having a good time, and my 2 left feet tripped over each other, and boom, right into his mixing lighting desk thing. Fucking knocked all of his shit onto the floor.
You do seem to have the longest limbs I've ever seen.
Huh?
You have like unseasonably long limbs, don't you, Eric? Like literally. Have you measured them around other people?
No.
They
You know what they say
long.
about people with long arms?
Don't know. Good at reach arounds.
Yeah. What is this? Did he find it? Oh my God, no. Why? Why did you do this to the world?
It's a chat.
14 minutes left.
14 minutes left.
And it was just that.
The world was a much better place before you did this to it, Oliver.
Yep, for like 15 minutes. fucking ridiculous.
I had the most people on the live stream of the whole festival.
Wow. Well, that's a bold claim, seeing as though you can't quite prove it. But,
It did, yeah, it did. I remember you saying it. He was fucking fuming after I left. He was like, how did that get the most views?
Painful.
It was painful. It was painful. Needles just bouncing around.
There was some like poor people like doing their fucking best
that
they
like
can.
on Mark's bed or some shit?
Was that?
That was on my bed, yeah. I was
Yeah,
on
he
my bed.
just set up on his bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect place for a set of decks.
I bet you had to, yeah, I bet you had to disinfect those decks after that.
No comment.
I don't know. I don't think Mark was getting much at that point.
Oh, shots fired again.
There's no shots fired. That's a fact. He wasn't getting much.
Poor Mark. He's been called a short little bald man.
But he is a short little bald man. He has been a short little bald man since I've known him.
You're hardly an Adonis yourself, my man.
Hey,
Go on. Just. There he is.
No, describe. I don't know what's wrong with people. You describe them as they look, and Mark is a short, bald man.
I will say, and I'll probably hurt his feelings saying this, but when we all met up, Mark and all of us met up in Berlin.
Yeah. Wow, you're much shorter and much bolder than I expected. Yeah.
He's like up to my chin. I was like, oh,
yeah, he's fucking tiny. Yeah,
you look a lot bigger on the streams, buddy.
It's really funny because I spent a lot of my time next to Mark. People thought I was quite tall. Whenever I meet people, they're like, "Oh, I thought you'd be a lot bigger than this." It's like, no, I'm just next to a really short, bald man all the time.
Oh, poor Mark. He's probably crying right now. That's why he took himself off of camera. But
he's still muted.
Yeah,
just keeps putting himself in for them. Come on, let's get Mark. What are you doing? Come on, come in. Do some.
I'm babysitting a stream. Is what I'm doing. I'm
babysitting a stream.
I'm wondering where the entertainment value is for this stream. It's like, oh man.
Yeah. I feel sorry for anybody watching, but you know.
Yes, I really do.
Pretty entertaining, to be fair.
Yeah, you always do, fella. You always do.
Think the dog's the highlight of the whole stream.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
So, have we got any musical questions for him or what? What's your musical process like? You know, and that kind of thing.
Wait, this is a music stream? What?
Yeah,
we're talking about music the entire time.
You're just trying to get us to stop trolling you know. Poor Mark. Mark.
Connections cut out again.
Haters gonna hate.
Oh me.
So no, actually, I do have some music questions, kind of, sort of. So we heard the song from the band you were in earlier and stuff. Have you been in any other bands? You play bass and stuff.
Yeah, I was in loads of bands. Oh yeah, I was in a band called the Jews. I was in loads of yeah. I spent literally. It was DUES. The Jews. DUES. Let's get that straight. Get that straight. DU as in a bus is due. The Jews. We were Jews.
Okay.
Yeah. We were.
And herein lies the marketing strategy that didn't quite work with that band. If you have to explain it like that,
exactly.
I mean, you're not off to a winner. Unfortunately, the music was great. It really was. I've heard some of that, and it is really fucking good.
What style music were the bands you were in? Mostly like punk and stuff.
Punk and indie and that sort of thing. I did some hip hop stuff. I nearly went on tour. Have you heard of a punk band called Chaos UK?
Yeah.
So I nearly went on tour with them in Asia.
Holy shit!
Basically, yeah, man, yeah. But were they called Chaos UK? Because the original band was Chaos UK. Gabba was the lead singer, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And what was the band they became after? FUCK. So I nearly went on tour with FUCK.
I love it.
So it was Chaos UK, and then they became FCUK or FCUK or whatever it is. And so the guitarist in the Jews, she was the girlfriend of the singer of FCUK, which was Chaos UK, Gabba, and all of those guys. Yeah. And they needed a bassist to go to Asia. And I nearly went on tour with them. Yeah, I did loads of shit, man.
What happened? Why didn't you go on tour with them?
Because I was a raging fucking drug and alcohol addict, basically.
Okay,
and yeah, I would have ruined everything. I probably wouldn't have come back. I would have probably found fucking like crystal meth and stayed in fucking some crazy Chinese place. Do you know what I mean? It would have ended badly. It's like, man, again, that would have been the wrong place at the wrong time, and that would have probably ended me. Yeah, I did loads of shit. I played in a couple of battles in a. Oh God, I've done loads, man. It's like a long time ago. But yeah, I was about doing stuff out of my face. But the major ones were the Dews, DUES, and the Jinx, basically. And then after that, it just went into just mostly sort of making weird electronic music and techno and hardcore and rave and everything, man. Yeah, I've been very blessed with my journey through music, and people have stuck by me through some times when they shouldn't have. So I've been extremely lucky in that. And yeah, I wish I had more memories of it. But yeah, my bass guitar's seen some times.
Yeah, I definitely understand. I feel pretty blessed too to come out of a really heavy addiction for years and years and years. You know, it took getting in trouble though. It took getting in trouble, getting arrested, going to jail.
Yeah. What drugs were you on?
Meth, stimulants.
Oh, what, crystal meth?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's heavy shit. That's heavier than like heroin and crack, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if any's better than the rest. It's heavy because you stay up for a week straight and shit gets weird. Shit gets pretty weird real quick, you know.
I accidentally did a line of crystal meth about 15 years ago. I was at after party and the lines were out. And it was like, do that, and I just did all of it. I just did like.
It makes my nose hurt just thinking about it.
Did you know that MCAT is practically just meth?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
MCAT,
So if you've ever done MCAT, it is pretty much meth.
Yeah, I did that for years and stuff, and just escalating and escalating and escalating, and. You know, honestly, if I wouldn't have gotten in trouble, if I wouldn't have got arrested, I probably, I don't know, I'd probably be dead by now.
Well, the good thing is about drugs like that, they get you in trouble, don't they?
Yeah.
If you would have managed to not get in trouble on those drugs, then fucking be a beast.
Yeah, no, seriously, though.
You'd be like the head of some fucking like major tech company now, wouldn't you? Just like meth off the face, running around with really long arms, reaching like your next door neighbour's fucking keyboard.
Hey, mate, let me help you.
No, got that bag of crystal meth already.
No, but the drugs, the meth and stuff, it was it was weird. It's a weird thing for me because part of it was freeing. It was freeing. It was highly sexualized. Coming out of the closet. You know, when I moved down to Florida and stuff. So it's weird because it came hand in hand with helping me come out of the closet and being, you know, open about my sexuality and stuff. But that's just because it was such a highly sexualized drug. You know, you get high.
How long were you in the closet for?
My whole life until I was like 18 or 19.
It's odd, isn't it? I've often thought about this because when you grow up in this society, I'm like quite neurodivergent. Like my reading, I'm not very good at reading. So like the world out there doesn't make sense to me because the way people take on information, I can't do. And so I often feel segregated a little bit because like, it's just, there's all these people out there that can do these things and I can't do them. It often moves me to thinking about, you know, what it's like growing up as somebody that has those feelings and is attracted to somebody of the same sex. And you're watching TV. I mean, not so much now because there's quite a few television shows that have gay couples in it. But, you know, You're talking 5 or 6 years ago, you know, there weren't really any programs and it was all him and her, mum and dad. You had a partner, you got married, you had a baby. And I often think about what it must be like to grow up in that environment and then suddenly I don't feel like that. It's wrong to it's wrong to be attracted to somebody of the same sex. And then when you make a move on somebody of the same sex, even if your gaydar is correct and they are like that, they'll still take a massive offense to it because they still haven't come to terms with it. So It's fucking.
Yeah, that's growing up and stuff in high school. You know, like one thing that haunts me really. It was gym class. I always hated gym class, and just the locker rooms and stuff. And I casually looked at one guy one time when we were in the changing room, and he noticed it and just fucking called me out in front of everybody. And then I became like the joke at the town. People were egging and toilet paper in my house and spray paper faggot on the garage door and stuff. And
that
it was
all came from just looking at somebody's. Where you weren't even doing anything. It was literally just looked like that. That all came.
I looked. I probably gave him the up down. You know, he was in his boxers.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah.
You know,
so it wasn't
like it wasn't super casual, but it wasn't super aggressive either. You know. Like it was just kind of like, and then on with my business, you know. But it turned into a whole thing, and then that just like it plagued me for the rest of my high school years. And so, you know,
how old were you? How many years did you have to go through that?
I was 15.
Oh, so it wasn't. Yeah, you had a couple years left of it, which is still enough, obviously, isn't it?
Yeah, and then like when I turned 18, I was my grandma lived down in Florida and she needed help on her house. And so I was like, gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And going down to Florida, I was able to, you know, come out and be myself and stuff. But the drugs also went with that too.
Yeah, of course.
You know, because at the time I was 18, I was a hot young boy and stuff. So everybody wants to, you know, party and play and do that thing. And so, yeah.
So you came out properly then, like right place, right time.
I guess. I didn't tell my parents for a long time afterwards.
I'm just gonna shut that door, Eric. Right?
Yep. Now it's an interview of me.
Just trying to think of another Oliver story. Oh, he's back. Damn it.
Why stop picking on me? Literally.
Well, you were too quick. I couldn't even think of a story. Maybe I will.
Every time you go away, Mark has a funny story for us.
Yeah, not that time.
I'm really going for a piss, but I'm not going for one now. Fuck that.
No, go ahead. We can come up with some stuff to fill the time.
I'm dreading what he'll fucking come up with next. That was bad enough that last time.
Oh yeah, you'll love this, right? He had chlamydia once.
Only once? Good for him.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure it was more than once. And he was like, I love scraping, you know, what comes off at the end of it and putting it on door handles when I'm at work.
There was this one bitch office manager. Right, and she was a fucking prick. And every time I got called into her office, when I left her office, I would just slap her some chlamydia juice on her handle.
There you go. How about the tick?
Biowarfare right there.
Oh, John the Tick?
I
was telling somebody about John the Tick the other day.
Okay.
I got a tick. and I noticed I got a tick. We went for a walk in Cheddar and I got a tick on my arm. And I was like, oh, what's that? It was a tick, so I named him John the Tick.
How long did you have John the Tick?
Yeah, how long did you just let him hang out?
Well, I kept him for as long as I could. I wanted him to have babies. And because they swell up and have babies, don't they? But then my girlfriend realised I was keeping John the Tick. She said I wasn't allowed to
in her life.
Yeah, I said so. I wasn't allowed to like sleep in the same bed with her if I keep John the Tick. So I was like, "Fuck you!" So I slept on the couch for a week, keeping John the Tick. But then I was starting to get bad back, so I got some super glue. And like in Jurassic Park where they've got like the cricket in like the
Look at the joy on his face.
I got some super glue and I created my own Jurassic Park, the John the Tick. So I put some super glue on him, and I got when I put the super glue on, I got a wooden stick and put it in the thing, and then just slowly like pulled him out, and then covered him up in the super glue, and then kept him under the cutlery.
Do you still have him?
No, I wish I did. But like my girlfriend at the time, I'd never told her that I kept him and that he was underneath the cutlery. And I'd seen her recently because I'm doing a 12-step program in CN. You have to make amends to people, and obviously she like took quite a bit of the brunt of when I was an addict. So I invited her around to make an amends to her. And then John the Tick came up, and I told her, and she never knew for 20 years that for the last 2 years of us living together, John the Tick lived under the cutlery drawer.
Those girls are like, I bet he's thinking about other girls, but Oliver's just over here.
John the Tick, yeah, John the Tick.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oliver, is it true that you had a hamster living in your walls?
So yeah, I did. But my son got me this hamster, and I felt really guilty because he couldn't run around. So what I used to do was I used to like for hours every night so we could have a run. I used to sit at the top of my stairs and I'd make a run on the hallway so we could run around. Do you know what I mean? And I'd just be sat at the top of the stairs for like a couple of hours a night so this hamster could run around. But he escaped into the bath. He ran underneath the bath and then got into the walls.
Oh shit!
Right, and I was like, "Fuck this hamster!" And I was like, "Where the fuck's this hamster gone?" So I was like, just trying to find him, couldn't get there. And then I heard him gnawing away at this little section in between the kitchen and the front room. So I was like, "That little fucker's in there." So I dug a hole out of the wall, and I was feeding him for like a week through the hole, basically, so he could eat. So he could still survive.
Shit.
He was living in my walls for a week, and where all the dust had built up next to the fucking hole that I'd created, he was coming in and out. I could see his little footprints coming into the house. So I got this. I didn't feed him in the hole for a couple of days, and I just kept putting food in the middle of the room, and I just sat there and I managed to catch him again.
Oh shit! I had a similar thing, but it was a cat got into the walls.
Yeah.
And every time I tried to like I had a hole. It got underneath the tub. Every time I tried to get it, it was scared and it would run deeper and further away. And to the point where I'm like, fuck, I just left food out and the cat finally came out.
Do you know what happened to the hamster? Yeah, there's a really tragic story.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So,
not a great end.
That run I made the hamster, like hamsters are like quite intelligent little things. And he worked out that he could go over the run because my banister are like long ones that go that way. So there's a gap. So I put a bit of wood up, and he went over and he fell down in between the top and landed and broke his leg. So I took him to the vet, and they gave me some painkillers for him. Now, this coincided with me going to Ireland to do a DJ set for the weekend, and they gave me this painkiller for him, and I misread the amount I had to give him.
Oh no!
I thought it was.
Oh shit!
It was 0.5 mils, but I read it as 5 mils. So I told my mate to come. I called my mate to like come and just check in on him and give him some food and let him out in his run while I was away. And I just basically overdosed him on opiate painkillers.
Oh shit!
So my mate came to feed him and he was dead. So I killed him.
No.
I know that goes back to me trying to take it in Reddit, having to read information. I can't do it. So yeah, that hamster died from a heroin overdose, unfortunately.
Jesus. Not many hamsters can probably say that.
He had a good life. I gave him a good life. He lived free for fucking a week and a half. How good is that?
He was like hamsters the walls and doing his thing.
He was living in the walls for a week. Yeah, I think that hamster had a good life. He had it ended early, but you know what they say: those that shine brightest don't shine for long, do they?
Yeah. You kind of just made me think of the Mr. Wiggly show that you guys were doing. R.I.P. Mr. Wiggly, of course.
That was fucking tragic.
That, man.
That was tragic.
That, man. But how did that show you guys did together come about?
So obviously Mr. Wiggly, I came to know Mr. Wiggly through doing the URL, and Mr. Wiggly came to know me from doing the URL, and he actually didn't like me when he first, because I was playing the cunt, isn't it? And there was I learned from meeting Mr. Wiggly that in the URL there was a group of people that really couldn't fucking stand me, like really couldn't stand me, and
yeah, we're still there.
Yeah, shut up, prick.
Mark says
there was a whole thing. There was a whole group of URL people that fucking hated my guts. And then sometimes
we're still here.
Yeah, still go away. And Jen S was one of those. And but then she met me she had an interaction with me. I can't remember what it was. I posted something about ADHD before I realised I was ADHD. That it was a superpower or something. And then she messaged me and we had a conversation and I got to know her. And then she was like, "Oh, you're actually not the person that's on the show." I was like, "No, I'm not. It's just an act." And then she told that to Mr. Wiggly. And then Mr. Wiggly like got in touch with me, Dom, and we started chatting. He was like, "Look, I want to do something with you. Like, let's come on my podcast, come on my thing. Let's see how it goes." So I went on his family podcast. He used to do with Lula May and his missus.
I was on one.
Yeah, you were on. So I went on that with him, and it was really fun, man. And we had a good vibe. Yeah. And then we just started chatting and just started getting to know each other a little bit. And then it was like, let's do something. And I was like, well, I wanted to talk about mental health, and I wanted to like have like the URL was a place for like the URL. No, he found the one without me on it. Oh no, it is me. Is that me? What was I wearing?
Well, big love to you too. I hope you're having a great time. I presume you are probably still out there. But yeah, have a fantastic one. It was really good to meet you in person properly as well. So thank you for that. Ben Breslin is a quite amazing guy with a spectacularly brilliant idea for a new style of mixer.
Okay.
So he was out there drumming up support for that. And I don't think I'm going to the details of what, but it's a controllability thing that just makes it really, really clever.
What an audio mixer or live?
Yeah. So it's an audio mixer, and
I believe that was the first time Oliver was on the Mr. Wiggly show.
That was fucked. I mean, yeah. So we were like, we need to talk about mental health and neurodivergence in music because it seems like creative people seem to suffer the most.
Yeah.
With these afflictions, especially people that are ADHD and creative. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really funny because we like put ourselves in these situations that make us have a lot of rejection, which is the worst thing for us, and stuff that lowers our self-esteem, which we generally don't have much of. And it's maybe not because of the rejection we put ourselves through, but we are sort of we have these depressive states and we have these sort of bipolar things, and we just wanted to talk about it, and we wanted to have a place for people to come. And obviously Mr. Wiggly was quite a well-known musician, and there were some really quite well-known people on that thing, and it actually became a sort of music industry fucking place to talk about depression and stuff. I think like, what was it, like Bruce Springsteen's fucking monitor engineer used to come in and talk. It was like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Like Dom was a really well-known person, like some crazy really. Like at his funeral, like one of the guys that watched the show was Chic's fucking piano player.
Wow.
Me and Mark were at his funeral and we were just chatting to people, and they were coming over introducing, "Hey Harley, how are you?" I was like, "Oh yeah, not too bad." I had no idea. I was like, "What do you do?" I went, "Oh, I play with Chic." I was like, "What the fuck?"
What? Yeah. You know, that's one thing I think was really special about Mr. Wiggly too, is like, you know, he was a pretty big guy, you know, but at the same time he comes down to the level of like people like me.
He was just a human
pretty
being.
much a nobody, you know, and
a lot of these, nobody's a nobody. Like
you know what I mean. I'm not, you know, I know
keyboard
player for Chic, but
I know some quite famous people personally. I have their numbers, I know them, and they're just people. And the thing that's associated with what they've done or who they are is an irrelevance when you get to know them. And Dom was one of those people. And it doesn't matter what you do, you're just at the end of the day, you wake up a person and you have an interaction with a person. And it's quite unfortunate for them because a lot of people come to these people with preconceptions of what they're going to be like and who they are. Right. And then when they meet, it's like the whole "don't meet your heroes." Right. It's like you're not meeting your hero. You're meeting somebody that you've made up in your head. And when you meet a normal person, you're let down by it. So these people, big people, they're humble, but a lot of them are humble unless they're egomaniacs or narcissists. But 90% of these people that have done well in music or are famous are just normal people. And Mr. Wiggly was one of those normal people. But like the whole that whole thing was extremely hard for me because we'd literally just started doing this podcast. We were just testing it out. We'd done like 5 or 6 episodes or something, and we just got a format, and then we were just planning to do something with it, like really do something with it. We had it working. We had it all going around. like Dom was getting some really good feedback wherever he was going about how much good it was doing for people. I mean, I was in an extremely bad place. I didn't know it then, but looking back now, I was fucked.
Yeah.
You could probably see by how I looked on those streams. I was white and I was taking a lot of drugs at the time. Not hard drugs, but I was still drinking and taking a lot of drugs and not living well. And but I still had enough understanding and enough sort of I knew enough about the situation and I was like, didn't give a fuck enough to go on there and talk about it. But, you know, in December, he'd just gone quiet for a bit. And it was the first time he'd gone quiet for a bit since I'd known him. But I was just like, yeah, it's Christmas, blah, blah, blah. And then messaged him. And then there was this situation come up where he wanted to give me a set of 12 10s. Do you know what I mean? He was going to give me a set of 12 10s. And I was like, no, don't give me anything. But, you know, somebody that we both mutually know wanted to get a set of decks. So why don't you donate them to them? I'll do the work on them. And then it's a sort of 360 reach around, isn't it? Everybody, right. I'll get paid for doing the work on them. And then this person gets them cheaper. And we're all in the same thing. And then the last message we had was me saying that to him. And then I got a message saying he died.
Wow.
It was like devastating. Like the family didn't even know. Like literally, it was fucking. He was complaining to me like early December. So I've got these weird illnesses. The doctors don't know what it is, and the doctors literally didn't know what it was. And then I've heard that they just found out. It was like, yeah, you've got this. You've got a couple of weeks.
I can't even imagine.
Devastating. Fucking devastating, man. And obviously I knew him and I was like, it's often when you do creative things with people, you kind of bond, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
like when you do music with somebody, or when you do something that you both believe in and that thing starts to work and you start to hear people enjoying what you're doing, you kind of have a bond, isn't it? I didn't know Dom that well. I didn't know his family that well. I didn't know his daughter that well. But when I went up to meet them, we'd done that podcast. It was like there was a special connection there. And
right.
And losing Dom was really quite massive for me. Like I never met him in person, but we'd like chatted a lot on the phone. We did the podcast together. You spoke about some quite deep things, and it was fucking up.
Especially talking about such deep topics and stuff together.
Yeah, man.
That
it's fucking devastating. Like, he was one of the nicest people ever. One of the nicest people I've ever met, man.
I know.
Like, yeah.
The first time I ever chatted with him, I'd seen him around and stuff, but he responded to, I asked a question about some music thing in the URL group, just trying to get people's advice and stuff. And then like an hour later, he just calls me, does a whole video call. And I'm like, I've never even spoke to this guy in my life. And then, you know, he walked me through the issues I was having and then gave me his plugin for free at the end of the day. Like,
yes. Yeah. And then you find out what he'd got up to and what he'd done, and then you meet some of the people from his life, and it's fucking. Do you know what I mean? What an amazing person! I still speak to his wife. Whenever I think about him, I drop her a message, and she drops a message back, or she'll send me like a video of Luna May. Like, do you know what I mean? I wasn't part of their life, but do you know what I mean? I was a weird part of their life, and it was like, it's fucking really sad. Yeah, really fucking sad, man.
The shows you guys did, though, were really, really, there's nothing like them out there, you know, supporting,
there
like,
isn't.
and talking about, you know, honestly talking about it.
No, there isn't.
Mental health, I mean, no.
It's a hard thing to talk about. And the good thing about Dom is that he never really suffered from that. But he was around it. He was in music. Do you know what I mean? The people that he wrote with suffered with it. So he'd seen it, but he'd never had. And it was really interesting to have him see it from that aspect. He never really thought, like I haven't thought about certain situations of people of colour in this country at the moment. When I spoke to them about them, I learned about it. And I've never been somebody that hasn't been afflicted by that. And I've always been surrounded by people like that. So it was like really interesting. There was that bounce off from somebody that hadn't personally been through it, that see it. And then from me that personally been through it. And then speaking to somebody that hadn't, it was just.
And gives you a different, like a full spectrum of the whole.
Yeah, that could have been a serious podcast. Yeah, it was lining up to be like really quite important, and it could have helped and saved a lot of people. And when I was doing that, I had a few people message me going, I was going to kill myself last week. And I didn't. After listening to the podcast, there was like 3 or 4 people that messaged me saying, thank you. I nearly ended it.
That makes it worth everything right there.
It's fucking mad. I mean, the URL was the same, man. I got messages from people to the URL saying my life was fucking a misery without that. I didn't have anybody else, lonely, and I've got a community, and they're those people are existing at the moment. There could be one of those people watching this podcast now that are into the stuff that you guys do now, and you guys keeping this going, and you guys keeping this message going and giving people a thing is so fucking important. The scratch cuff, man, like. We're all either autistic or ADHD. We all suffer depression. We're all lonely people. But once a month we all turn up and we all scratch. Yeah. And we're all socially awkward together. And loads of socially awkward people together actually becomes quite a social place.
Yep. That's how it was with Mark and all of them in Berlin.
Yeah, it looked fucking awful. I saw the videos. I was like, "Oh my god, that looks terrible!" Like, fucking worst thing ever. Fucking, you guys had a good time, and that's what it's about. But yeah, it's been a running theme in my life that I like kind of try and find spaces to resolve an issue I have, and it often comes from quite a selfish place. Like the scratch cuff, me and Dan just wanted to scratch, but it turned out to be a sort of solace for people like me, and the URL. Right. Turned out to be a solace for people like me that don't like other people, but like sort of staying in touch with people online. And the Mr. Wiggly podcast and Bombastic Sounds and Runtings were all places that I wanted to have that didn't exist. So I just fucking created them. And that's fucking, perfect. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of...
Not everybody has the, I don't know what the right word is, not courage per se, but not everybody has the willpower to just create those spaces for themselves.
Not everybody's dumb enough to do stuff like this. That's what it is. You have to be really fucking stupid. So like you have to either be so passionate you can't see the ball ache doing something like this is going to create. And do you know what I mean? And if anybody with any sense or any sort of perception of no, I can't do this because it's going to ruin my life for all the extra tasks and all of the extra things that it brings up. You've got to be dumb to start things like this. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the scratch cuff is a ball ache. It takes so much time. Me and Dan are so fucking dumb for doing it. Me and Mark were so fucking dumb for doing that because Mark's still, like how dumb he is for still doing it. The amount of shit that guy goes through.
He lets me do this.
Well, yeah, exactly. But like, it's for every 8 good people that are part of the clown army, there's 2 that are fucking assholes and that need to wait.
You know who you are, motherfuckers.
They do. There could be one of them in the thing.
Mark's like,
what assholes?
I don't know. They know who they are, though.
What do you mean? Well, they're not here now, and they've probably been blocked, Mark. Do you know what I mean? It's quite a reoccurring thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like you've got to go through these like really heart-wrenching situations.
There's always people that will, show their true selves or come out. We try to be open to everybody, but every now and then we do run into.
And the problem is because it's online. And you don't get to meet these people. You have a very small amount of interaction with them. It takes a lot longer of a time for these personality traits to come out because they can hold it off for a lot longer. When you're around somebody every day, they have to be themselves at some point. It's like in a relationship, isn't it?
Right.
You know what I mean? You can only hold up the facade for so long, and then the true colors start coming out, and then the person they're trying to be, they can't keep the act up for that much longer, which is why a lot of relationships break down because either one of them or both of them can't be the person they're perceiving themselves to be. But when you're running an online community, these people can hold up these facades for much longer,
long time,
and then you build up a sort of relationship. And because we're humans, knowing somebody for 6 months is still knowing them for 6 months, even though you only speak to them via message like once or twice a week, or you only speak once a week. Do you know what I mean? You've still known that person for 6 months.
Then when that happens, sometimes these people you know them, talk to them, chat with them, even meet him in person for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, it's really sad, man. Because you're like, holy shit.
Well, I know Mark gets affected by it heavily, man. Mark wears his heart on his sleeve. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he opens up his life fully. He shouldn't. He should put boundaries, but it's not who he is. He doesn't have any boundaries. You're either in to a certain point, and then you know him for like 20 years, and he lets you in a little bit more. But do you know what I mean? He still lets everybody in enough to allow himself to get really fucking hurt really quick, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, doing this for him is quite a hard thing. And that's why I say you've got to be dumb to do something like this, because without Mark being that dumb enough to let people in that much, to get hurt that much. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not saying intellectually dumb, but you've got to be stupid enough to let yourself be hurt. So, you know, it's
a little bit crazy.
people think that just running a live stream every month, it's not that, man. And people get a bit hard on Mark online about certain situations, but they don't have any idea what it actually takes to do this. All the shit he has to deal with, the people constantly asking where the link is for Monday or what time's the tune on, man. It's like when we first started the URL, they're like, oh, when's it on? What? When's it on? It's every Tuesday, sorry. Oh, okay.
What?
Next week. Oh, is it on today? No, it's Wednesday. It's on last night. It's like, oh, okay. When is it? It's every Wednesday. What time is it? Oh, you asked me that. It's literally the message above you asking me. Do you know what I mean? That's just the basis of it, man. I mean, all the people. Oh,
and then there's the technical side of it too. You know, like we did when we were in Berlin, we did the URL from Armando's house at the time, and it was like
fucking hilarious.
It was I think it was for the challenge, one of the music challenges I had going, and it was so fucking hectic. I was like, holy shit, is this what it's like behind the scenes every time?
That was a nightmare. Oh, wait on. Yeah, that was an absolute fucking nightmare trying to get that all sorted, and it never happened. It was horrible. But anyway, that was hectic.
Yeah,
I watched that and I was fucking pissing myself.
I was sweating like a bitch, man. I was so fucking nervous that day.
Watching you lot do that was fucking hilarious. I loved every minute of that. But yeah, man, it's like. But you've got all the. Do you know what I mean? Like when we first started it, they were like, "Oh, you're talking over my tune." It's like, what? What do you mean? It's like, let it play out. It's like, mate, we're running a show.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Do you want to have people watching it? Because if you don't, you can do an internet radio station where nobody would watch it. If you want your tune played out for the entire time without talking over it, send it to a radio station where nobody will hear it.
Yep.
If
people do get pretty out of shape about that.
It's fucking madness.
That's part of the whole thing.
Well, yeah. It's a show. It's got to be entertaining. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Unless you've got somebody talking over the top of it, actually doing something, then actually it just becomes a tune playing, which indefinitely doesn't involve engagement.
A playlist.
Yeah. So then you're doing all of these things for people, and they're still complaining, they're still moaning. But yeah, every week you continue doing it, and you don't really get anything for it. You just get people complaining and asking you what day it's on.
What day is it? What time is it?
Where's the link? I bet Mark still gets people asking him when the show's on. I bet he does.
I know one that asks almost every single day.
It's been on for 8 years. 8 years. I don't think he's dropped more than 10 shows. 8 years. 8 years. Yeah. What time is it on?
There's one specific person, and it's in my mind right now, and we all try and tell this individual, and you don't get it. But at the same time, we kind of hope he doesn't get it, because then he'll annoy the shit out of us.
Time to start calling him out. Call him out. No, don't do it now. Obviously, I'm not having my podcast marred by that bitchery. But call him out at some point.
No. But yeah, I mean, like even with this interview show, you know, like what we're doing now, Mark just let me do it. I was kind of feeling like I wasn't giving anything to the community. Like I was not really feeling very musical, so I wasn't, putting my music in the show. All I was just doing was like approving people's posts and denying people's posts, and for a while I was doing like all these music challenges and stuff, And so like I needed some way to do something to give to the clown army. And that's kind of where these things came from. And I'm glad Mark lets me do it. I think I got probably one of the easier jobs in the clown army. I just say, hey, tell me about yourself.
Well, that's good, isn't it? You kind of just have to suck it and see with stuff like this, don't you?
Yeah.
It either works or it doesn't. But again, you're giving people the platform to be able to talk.
Yeah.
You're giving these producers a place to talk about stuff, and obviously, do you know what I mean? It's a great thing to do, and you've just got to do things until they work. Do you know what I mean? You've just got to move with it. But it's a hard thing to do. I mean, Mark's been doing this for 8 years. Is it 8 years?
Is it, Mark? 8 years? I think 8 years.
Is it 8 years?
I think so, yeah.
Mark?
That's crazy.
Where is he coming? He's not coming. What is it? He comes in when there's no point in him coming in. And then when you actually want him to come in, he doesn't bother coming in. What the fuck's going on? He's just fired. I'm running the show. I'm running the show. You're clearly not there now, are you, Mark? Is he?
He's probably having a wank or something.
Probably, yeah. But you know, 8 years every Tuesday.
It's crazy to think how long it's been.
Then all the fucking clown army the clown festival, whatever the fuck it is,
What,
and then
we're on,
these
like,
mental
15?
live shows he keeps doing.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? What?
It's
How can anybody get pissed off at somebody that dedicates that much time to playing their music?
Yeah, well, if they do get pissed off, there's the door, motherfuckers.
Well, yeah. How can you legitimately get pissed off with somebody that dedicates that much time? He's not out there gigging all the time. He's not fucking What's he getting from this? What's he getting from it?
A bunch of weird friends.
Cool. But literally, all he's getting from it really is a really good community of friends and bullshit from people complaining.
Yep.
And it's like the audacity of them complaining. It's like, what? It's like, come on, people. Like,
He handles it better than I would.
What's that?
He handles it better than I would. I would say some quite mean things to people if I were in some of the situations.
It's mad. It's mad. But then again, those sorts of people, they tend to be the people that fucking, oh, give me it for free. Oh, why you're not giving it to me for free? Oh, fuck you. How dare you not give it give it to me for free? You owe me this. It's like, motherfucker, you're not owing shit.
Entitled. They think they're entitled.
Entitled to what? What are you entitled to? Continue going around the world falling out with people, not getting anywhere, and then
You're
blaming
entitled to finding the door, motherfucker.
Well, that's it. Yeah, you need to just put up a doorpost every week. Just put a post up and say these people are close to the door. Fucking keep them alive. I would be. I'd be doing some savage shit like that now.
Well, does anybody in the chat have any questions for Oliver?
Oh no! Is there even anybody watching?
I did ask, but nobody came back with anything. So if anybody has a question for Oliver, what questions did we pick for you in the group chat? Yeah, if you absolutely had to, which animal would you have sex with to save your life?
This says a lot about.
Is this to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to kill myself for fucking 20 years. I'd take death.
No! That's not no. You have to say an animal.
One.
Yeah.
No, I'd pick death. Yeah.
No. We had a bunch of follow-up questions to go with it as well, but you've just kind of.
I think you would pick a hamster.
God, I can't remember. I think
you would pick a hamster.
A hamster. I choose death. It's like the moment you said that, I was like, death straight away.
John the Tick.
Yeah.
That's going to be an awkward fuck, to be honest.
Well, it doesn't exist, does it? It doesn't exist. What? So nobody's got questions?
I'm from I was born in the south of America, not South America, but the deep south of America, and so I think the only answer for me is a sheep, man.
Yeah.
Your sheep's looking mighty fine right there, right now. Y'all come back now, you heard?
I've traumatized myself sleeping with women, so like my life wouldn't be worse.
I think it's more the women who have been traumatized by sleeping with you. I mean,
as well. I can't speak for them though. There's a good question. Michael Walker did a good question.
What?
The only question.
Concords or I can't see the other half.
M447s. This is a needle question.
So,
Oh God, here we go. You know it's going to be a long one.
Right.
So
this is how. So we're going to put this into perspective now. We're going to put this in. So the Concorde is an Autofon stylus that was produced sort of late 90s, and the Shure M447 is just a really fucking good stylus. So the M447 is like synonymous with scratch DJs because it's really heavy and it bends and it moves and it sticks. So the Concorde basic version is no good for scratching at all. The stylus isn't very good. It doesn't hold. So the M447 all the way. But what they did do is they brought out the scratch version, which is quite good. But the problem with those is it's quite heavy on a record. So if you've got some low quality 45 records, those Concords eat the record, so they don't last very long. So unfortunately, when it comes down to it in a live situation, it always is the M447 for that reason. What's your answer then, Michael? If there's no long answer.
Yeah. Well, like literally, it was a choice between two, and Oliver went, "Wow." They are.
So the Concorde does perform better in some circumstances, but an overall, it's the M447. Autofon sent me a couple of the new vinyl tricks to test it to scratch calf, and they're really good. So out of the vinyl tricks and the M447 straight out the box, the vinyl tricks were better than the M447 with the Jiko needles on them. But because they come pre-mounted, they're quite light. They're not that good in a live situation. So the M447 kind of wins as an overall, but as a scratch stylus, the vinyl trick at the moment is still a bit better. It's still a little bit more stable. So yeah, this is kind of you kind of have to have both. If you're serious, you have both.
For all those old school dinosaurs out there that still use vinyl,
well,
those are the needles of choice.
I came to Oliver when I couldn't find a replacement for my stylus. They just didn't make it anymore. It's sure something or another, and you recommended Concorde. I forget which one, but that basically is the that because they're available. They're not that expensive. They sound okay. Do you know what I mean? For somebody like you who's not going to be going mental on them, then that's just the obvious choice. They're affordable. Yeah. They sound decent. They last, and you can keep getting the replacements. Yeah, and they're not that expensive. So yeah, they are the ones to go for as a sort of base user. On what you're doing. What did the person just said? What's your go-to sample to scratch with?
Oh God. So there's three main ones. There is the R, there is the fresh, and there's the beep. So okay. they're like the three main scratch samples. I like the R sample just because there's a reason why everybody uses it. Went to URL, I saw that. There's a reason why everybody uses it, but I like a ha, basically.
Okay.
The ha sample is a well-known ha, and it's on every single one. But I just prefer that ha. It's nice and short. You get some nice quick hits on it. Yeah. What's this? Do you think the digital side of DJing has ruined the visual aspect and sort of lessened the physical skill of turntablism? So it seems like Michael Walker would really enjoy the when's the URL again? Seems like Michael Walker would really enjoy the Scratch Calf podcast. You can find that on YouTube and Spotify. Just put Scratch Calf in. We go into this in some quite heavy detail, actually. So, me personally, using actual vinyl and seeing people manipulate a vinyl is most pleasurable for me because you can see what's happening. Do you know what I mean? You know that it's going on a record and you have to move it that far. You have to pick the stylus up to move it to a next cue point. You can see what they're doing. The digital aspect of it with S11s and hot cues and Serato and phase, it doesn't lessen the skill, but what it does do, it takes those annoying things away from the process that make you a lot tighter and make things a lot easier. Now, me personally, I love the balance of having to to have that lightness of touch and make a needle stay in the groove. That's part of the pleasure for me, having that balance. But when it comes to the real top guys, having those tools to move around the tubes, take them apart with the touch pads, and not have the skipping element allows a load of different elements and allows you to move it to the next level. So on one hand, for me personally, seeing a record being manipulated is really pleasurable for me. But I've gone deep diving enough to understand what's happening. I can see it happening to some of the higher levels. But as for the art form, I feel like the digital element of it has improved it and made it a lot more accessible. But on the other hand, it makes it a lot harder to understand what's happening. But it allows a more musical result to what they're doing. So I can't really answer that question other than they both have their benefits and their place. But definitely digital hasn't ruined it. It's made it better, but it definitely hasn't made it easier to do, because the more technology you've got, the more you have to learn to do, and it actually becomes a harder, more you have to know a wider skill set to be able to do it. So actually, is that in essence it's harder. There we go.
Yeah? I know. That's a good answer, man. It's the age-old question, you know. I can't see any of the chat.
Isn't Mark supposed to be doing that?
I know.
I am. Nobody else has posted any questions. What hand do you wank with?
I'm ambidextrous.
Lovely.
Do you wipe your butt sitting down, or do you stand up to wipe your ass?
What the fuck? People stand up and wipe their ass.
Just lift up a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, how else are you going to get anyway?
Why would you do that?
I don't know. There's weird people out there, man. I don't trust them. Not one bit.
I mean, Mark, do you stand up to wipe your ass?
Not like fully all the way, no. But you know, you
stand up a little bit.
He hovers his ass over the thing. Yeah.
Huh. So you lean forward to do it.
What a great way to end the interview.
I just put my, up on one cheek and.
That is a way. We may as well end it on that, haven't we?
Michael Walker's lying. He says, "Great insights, Oliver. It's been a good interview, mate. Really enjoyed it." Michael Walker is very diplomatic, and when he needs to lie, he can.
No. It has been really good. I didn't know what to expect with the interview from you, because Mark kept winding me up all week and stuff. It's like Oliver's just gonna be a big troll the whole time, and he's trolling back, and all of this. So I'm like, oh God, what's gonna happen all week long?
He was trying to ruin the podcast from the inside.
Ruin? I was trying to make it more interesting. Oh, Oliver's gone. Oliver's gone. Oh, he's back. Oh, he's gone again.
Take me away.
And this going.
It's done.
There we go.
No, but it really has been a good chat, man. A lot of insight into just you as a person. That's what it's all about.
See, Graham's good at lying as well.
So as most.
Thank you, Gravy Lee. Very kind of you. And you, Mark.
He's lying. He's very good. He's very diplomatic at times.
Well, I guess that's that, motherfuckers.
All right, well, it's been a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for coming on and wiping the floor with the votes, man. Like in 2 hours, you got like 50 fucking votes.
Well, how many votes do people normally get?
Not that many.
What was the last win? What was the last winning vote?
What do you mean?
So the last person that did the show, how many votes did they get?
Oh. Don't tell him, because you'll just stroke his ego that little bit more.
Come on.
Like, yeah! I'm a demigod!
How many votes did the last person get?
Like
we'd have to look.
5.
Sorry,
Good number, Eric. Good number. Good number.
He's lying. I know he is. I saw it. It was like 8.
No, usually there'll be like a total of like 100 to 150 votes, and the winners usually get like 30 or 40.
Yeah.
And
so mine wasn't that good then, really. Wasn't that good?
No, it was shocking that people voted for you.
How much pushing around did you do, Oliver?
None. I just shared it once. Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? The funny thing is, Mark's like, oh, Oliver won the vote, and he's the motherfucker that added you to the poll.
I didn't think people would vote for him. Honestly, I did not think people would vote for him.
No, he was hoping.
I'll chuck it in
He
the poll.
was hoping nobody voted me because I asked to be on the show, and he knew. I went, can I be on the show? I was thinking it might go, yeah, we'll put you on. Don't worry about the vote. And he was like, no, you got to vote. I was like, okay. Fine,
no, you got.
And he was hoping that he could go, yeah, you got outvoted, and then he wanted me to go. He wanted me to go. Can you put me in the vote again next week? And he wanted me to consistently get not voted in. That's what he was hoping for, but it didn't work, buddy.
And instead, this happened, and it was.
It was beautiful.
It was a thing. It was a thing.
Like a beautiful baby that we made together.
Cherish, nurture, suckle at the teat, suckle.
Right, can I go now?
Yeah.
No, can you stop the show, please?
No, you got to show your tits before we let you go.
Not doing it.
Oliver!
Not allowed. Not doing it.
All right. Well, at least send me like a private message with your tits later, so I can wink to it.
I'll try and find the video of me in Lithuania.
Yeah, do it because that is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring it. Let's stop this madness. I love you guys. You know that.
Love
thank
you
you.
too. Cheers, guys. Bye.
No worries. Right. Well, that concludes yet another episode of the Clown Army interviews. I hope you enjoyed it. It was certainly long, 2 hours and 40 some minutes. Right, I'm going to play you out with this one, and yeah, I'll see you Monday for a new shout out.
How hard was